great place to be in the month of December, and a gorgeous day for football here. Sunny and warm, and temperatures in the low 80s for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Redskins. And good afternoon, everyone. Great to have you with us today for the NFL on Fox. Steve Buckhantz, along with former Bears and Steeler running back Merril Hoge, and two football teams, the Skins and the Bucks, that have struggled mightily this year. We don't have to tell you that. But Tampa Bay beginning to show some signs of life. That big victory last week over against a good Viking football team. And unlike Washington, there is no question here in Tampa Bay as to who is at the controls at quarterback.
Well, I think he's the guy who's given Tampa Bay the spark. That's Craig Erickson. Even though he's not an 8 or 9 year veteran, he's very seasoned in this offense. And being comfortable helps the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Talking to Sam Weiss yesterday, he believes that Craig Erickson is the guy who gives them the best chance to win.
Well, Norv Turner looking for some confidence in his young rookie quarterback. He's Shuler, 3rd pick overall in the draft. But I think in the last week, Shuler, even from the first half to the second half, is gaining some confidence and feeling more comfortable back there.
Yeah, and it's funny. Talking to Heath yesterday, he said, you know what helped me the best? Getting hurt. And why is that? Because he came in late, and he feels like he's played catch-up. And even though he's playing catch-up a little more right now, he still feels that getting hurt, he was able to take a breath, feel better about himself, and regroup and come back. And talking to Norv Turner, he said, you know what? He played better last week, and I think he'll play better today.
Warm and windy here in Tampa for Norv Turner and Sam Weiss. Bucks 3-9, the Skins 2-10, and we'll return to Tampa Stadium for the opening kickoff after these messages from your local Fox stations. Well, they had been forecasting some rain here this weekend, but none as of yet. It is beautiful, but it is warm, 83 degrees. That could affect the Redskins late in this contest. And very windy. It's actually looks like it's more than 8 miles an hour. There's Brian Mitchell returning a kickoff for the Redskins, and you can see his total yards. That's the best in the National Football League, averaging just better than 26 yards a return. Michael Husted will kick it off for the Buccaneers, and we're underway from Tampa. Mitchell, 3 yards deep. He'll bring it out. A hole up the middle, really hit hard. The ball is loose. It's down. Tampa signaling they have it, but no indication from the officials yet. He really got racked. And it is Buccaneer football. Turnover on the opening play of the game.
What? I mean, that was an unbelievable hit. I mean, Mitchell's still down. I mean, watch this. He just comes in and watch. I mean, head to head. I mean, you could watch. I mean, Buckley hit him right under the chin. You can see he was out right there, and he lost the ball, and Tampa Bay's recovered. Curtis
Buckley really put the wood to Brian Mitchell, who is still down.
You know, that's scary. I mean, when you see, I mean, you like to see good, hard football hits, and there was nothing dirty there. But Brian Mitchell was out right then, and he's still not out.
And they're testing his arms and hands. You can see that. Norv Turner with Ron Lynn, and very concerned. Mitchell doesn't like to fair catch on punts, and he likes to bring balls out of the end zone.
But on this hit, I want you to watch where his helmet hits. I mean, it's not a dirty play. It's a clean play. He just gets him right under the chin, right there. And he's out right there. You can see the ball come out. I mean, that was an unbelievable blow.
And that had to hit him, Merril.
I mean, that's what got me up in this booth that quick.
I was going to say.
I mean, you know, and let me tell you something. I think when you get knocked out, oftentimes it's been kind of a joking thing. And it's not a joking thing. And that's very serious. When you mess with your brain, if you can imagine it, I mean, it affects every function about you. Your breathing, your concentration.
Well, luckily, he's sitting up, and now he's standing up,
well,
and
that
is a great
sign. Now, I just hope that they're smart with Mitchell. If he's not completely, don't let him go back in and play this game, because he's going to want to go in and play.
Well, you know, John Madden said that the other day, a couple of weeks ago. He said somebody has to tell you when you've been hit whether you can play or not. You don't know.
No, listen, this is the medical staff. You can't let Mitchell play. After that, you cannot let him play in this game anymore.
So the Buccaneers will operate 1st and 10 from the Redskin 25. They bring out 2 tight ends, Ty J. Armstrong and Dave Moore. And, of course, Eric Rhett is the rookie running back from Florida. And this is Rhett, left side, and he's got room down to the 21. Craig Erickson, in his 3rd year from the University of Miami, is the Tampa quarterback, the 4th best passer in the NFC with an 87.1 rating. He's thrown but 5 interceptions all season. Solid line. Features one of the best tackles in 7-year veteran Paul Gruber, with McCray, Mayberry, Beckles, and Dill. And in the backfield, it's Eric Rhett, who needs just 109 yards to surpass the team's rookie rushing record. McDowell, Dawsey, and Hawkins at wide receivers, and Ty J. Armstrong replacing the injured Jackie Harris. This is Rhett right side. Another hole and a penalty flag down. Gain of 10 on the play. And let's wait to see the indication from the official. Daryl Morrison and Tom Carter making the stop for Washington.
Offside on the defense, number 97. The penalty is declined. First down.
Defensively, the Skins will go with Woods and Palmer at the ends. Tim Johnson and 12-year veteran Leonard Marshall replacing Bobby Wilson, who is inactive today, still nursing the broken thumb. The linebackers have played well for Washington. Ken Harvey leads the NFC in sacks. Andre Collins leads the Skins in tackles, and Tyrone Stowe has been solid. And the secondary, Carter and Darrell Green at the corners, Martin Bayless and Daryl Morrison the safeties. First and goal at the 9 officially for Tampa Bay, and Erickson wants timeout. And we'll take a break with 13:45 to go first quarter. The Buccaneers threatening early in the game. Well, you can see the difficulty that Tampa Bay has had inside the opponent's 27-yard line, or inside the opponent's 20, rather.
Yeah, this is what really cost Tampa Bay is a game against Detroit. You know, they're a young team, but we'll have to see how they handle it now.
First and goal, Craig Erickson, the quarterback. McDowell and Rhett in the backfield. This is Rhett again. This time he gets a couple of yards before being taken down by Sterling Palmer.
You know, even though that's only a couple yards, I think that's very smart. They've had success running the ball like this, and I think you're down there, and Eric Rhett has been the guy they've went to. You keep going to him, and I'd give the ball to him again. I'd line up like they've been doing and keep pounding it at him.
Eric Rhett, rookie from Florida, 582 yards rushing coming into this game. That's 10th in the NFC. Second and goal at the 9. Erickson's first pass. Intercepted by Washington. It's Andre Collins. He could go all the way. And Collins runs to the flag and scores. 92 yards, and the Redskins are on the board 6-0.
You know, that's what Washington hasn't done all year, is get in these bad situations, haven't been able to turn things around and get turnovers. And when you get a turnover like that and turn it into a touchdown after you've already suffered a loss yourself and losing the ball on the opening kickoff, Collins, what a great job. I mean, he almost ran out of gas there last time. The heat got to him. You can see the last 10 yards.
I didn't know if he was going to make it to the goal line, Merril. He started running to the flag.
Watch Erickson. I mean, he just sits on this too long. And Collins just plays right under him, takes the ball, and it's off to the races.
Intended for Courtney Hawkins, but Collins with the pick, and a beautiful job indeed.
That's a linebacker there. Look, watch, there he goes. There's a running back. Linebackers carry the ball in one hand. You can tell it. He turned into a running back there.
Barely got there. The 4th interception of the year for Andre Collins, who leads the team in tackles. And what a beautiful play that was, as Chip Lohmiller's point after is good, and a stunning opening to this football game with 12:50 to go in the first quarter. The Redskins are on top, 7-0. An inauspicious start for the Buccaneers. Craig Erickson, the 4th leading passer in the NFC. He throws one to Andre Collins, who returns it 92 yards. The longest intercepted pass returned by a Redskin is 100 yards by Barry Wilburn against the Vikings back in 1987 on December 26th. This one was long, and it was a beauty. Andre Collins gives the Redskins a 7-0 lead with his 4th INT of the year. Buckley and Wilson are deep, and Wilson lets it go out of bounds. Now, Vernon Turner is normally the kick returner for Tampa Bay, but he is down today, inactive.
You know, this is very simple. Just watch Andre Collins. He's just going to sit back here and fill the zone out.
Andre Collins, and intended for Courtney Hawkins.
He plays right under Courtney Hawkins, does a great job in reading Erickson. Erickson usually doesn't make those mistakes. That's what they like so much about Erickson. But, you know, you're going to play quarterback, you're going to do these kind of things. You hate to do it down there. But Andre Collins does a nice job in coming under there, and then
and I'm not sure where he's running.
100-yard sprinter, but actually made that about 120 cutting across the field.
Is the field, I was going to ask you, is it shorter to cut for the post? It didn't seem like it, did it?
Well, they would say that he beat him with the angle there.
There you go. Dawsey and Charles Wilson are in for Tampa Bay, and they stick to the ground, and a good hole for Eric Rett as Kurt Gouveia lands on top of him. A game of 7. Tyrone Stowe also in on the stop for Washington.
With all these fireworks going on, we haven't really got to see what is being solidified here. I mean, really, Eric Rett has done a nice job, and the offensive line has done a nice job on first and second down runs and getting positive yards.
2nd down and 3 at their own 47. This time, Rett is closed in, a missed tackle, but Woods and Shane Collins making the stop for the Redskins. Somebody had a shot at him in the backfield.
Eric Rett did a nice little job there, and a little stutter, so almost faked himself out. Watch this. He's just going to take the pitch. He's going to come up to the safety, do a little fake. Almost faked himself out. But you know what? He made that a positive play. He puts him in a good position, 3rd and short. That's a nice run for Eric Rett.
Daryl Morrison had a chance to get him in the backfield. The Skins have been bothered by sloppy tackling this year. 3rd down and 1 for Tampa Bay with 11:40 to go in the first quarter from sunny Tampa. Second man through, and I don't know if he got it. He rolled over the pile, and that may have given him the first, and the ball came loose.
Boy, Daryl Moore's got in the backfield almost as quick as the handoff was there.
Kurt Gouveia also in on the stop, and it is a Buccaneer first down.
Watch the fullback here. He's going to come through, and he makes a nice lead block, goes over the top, actually kind of cleans the way for him.
He wouldn't have made the first down had he not rolled over a couple of players and then rolled on the other side of the first down marker. He was behind the line of scrimmage when he was hit and rolled over for the first down. 11 minutes to go, clock ticking, and the Buccaneers stunned here in the opening after knocking Brian Mitchell out of the game on the opening kickoff and recovering a fumble just before the play clock. Again, not much off the left side. Tyrone Stowe again made the stop, a gain of 2.
Well, you know, Tyrone Stowe is one of the hardest hitters in this league. And he's a guy who's played on a couple different teams, but he's got the reputation in this league as he has a hard head, and he comes up and he feels, and he did that right there. So these two teams may not have winning records, but you can see, I mean, they take this very serious, and there's a lot of hitting going on right now.
Well, nobody we talked to this weekend had planned on giving up here this afternoon, that's for sure. 2nd down and 8 for Tampa on their own 40, rather the Redskin 47. Hawkins in motion and Erickson to throw. Short over the middle to Hawkins. It's complete. Dragged down again by Stowe to about the 43-yard line. Gain of 5.
You know, that's good for Craig Erickson just to get back and get a little pass, puts himself in a 3rd and short, a good situation for him. You know, you lose your confidence when you throw an interception for a touchdown like that early on when you're supposed to capitalize. That rattles you a little bit. So those little passes right there are going to be confidence builders for Erickson.
3rd and short, 3rd down and 2 for the Bucks at the Redskin 42. And his own left tackle, McCray, moved, and we talked to Craig Erickson about his cadence, and he's got one of the best in the league.
Number 70 on the offense prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's McCray, and he told us that you really have to work on that, not only to draw the defense offside, but the whole offense has to work on it to keep from drawing your own guys offside.
Right, that's just watch. He just picks up there. Well, once you do that, the play is dead, but you're exactly right. You want to use that to your advantage, but sometimes it can work to a disadvantage for you.
Now it's 3rd down and 7 at the Redskin 47. Vince Workman is in the game as Erickson operates from the shotgun. Off the hands of Workman, he had him open on the right side, incomplete, and Tampa will have to punt it away. Good defensive series for the Redskins.
You know, if he was able to throw that ball and let Workman run, he probably would have got the first down on that. But you can tell Erickson's a little shaken from the start he's had.
Well, amazingly, Merril, Brian Mitchell is back in the game, ready to receive this punt from Dan Straczynski, who is one of the best punters in the league at forcing fair catches.
You know what? I don't agree with this. I mean, I'm not a medical staff, but Brian Mitchell was out. You could see he was out before he even hit the ground. And once you've done that, the brain has been affected. I don't think you let the kid play.
Straczynski, high spiral, driving Mitchell back. He'll let it bounce, and it's into the end zone. Touchback, the Redskins will operate 1st and 10 from their own 20 off a 47-yard punt. They lead 7-0. Tampa, and how weird is this? 8:51 to play in the first quarter. The Redskins lead 7-0, and this is their first offensive play from scrimmage. You won't find that too many times.
Offenses like that, though. They like to be 7-up when they start out.
That's not a bad way to start. Heath Shuler, the quarterback, the rookie from Tennessee. Ricky Irvins and Cedric Smith behind him with Ellard in motion, and Heath will throw it on first down to Desmond Howard, and it's too wide and out of bounds. Shuler, the 5th start of the year for him at quarterback. He's yet to win a game in which he started, but he appears to be getting more comfortable. His offensive line slowly regaining the respect of the Skins line of old with Lachey and former Cowboy John Giesick at center. And in the backfield, it's Ricky Irvins with Cedric Smith at the fullback. He's done a good job blocking. Ellard and Desmond Howard at the wide receiver spot. Ethan Horton at the tight end. And Brian Mitchell is in the game at a running back. And this is Mitchell. And tripped up in the backfield by Marty Carter and taken down, and a good play defensively by Carter.
Well, that is a good defensive play by Tampa, but I mean, Mitchell looks like he's all there. Even though he didn't look like he was all there when he got knocked out, and I disagree with this move. I think they need to watch him very closely.
Defensively for the Bucs, who had 5 sacks last week in the win over Minneapolis or Minnesota, Chidi Ahanatu and Eric Curry at the end. Santana Dotson is out. Mark Wheeler is in, along with Culpepper. The linebackers are strong. Lonnie Martz and Barney Bussey. And the mainstay in the middle, Hardy Nickerson. Carter and former Cowboy Thomas Everett in the secondary, along with Charles Finley and former Redskin Martin Mayhew. Loss of 5 on the play, 3rd and 15 for Washington. Shuler with plenty of time, going deep, has a man and overthrows him. Intended for Orlando Truitt, who was wide open behind the secondary of the Tampa Bay Bucs, but Shuler just overthrew it.
I mean, watch this. This is just a blown coverage, and he runs right down the field. He doesn't get him the ball. Boy, he really needs to get him the ball here. Boy, he's wide open. Somebody blew a coverage there.
Thomas Everett is chasing him.
Yeah, Thomas needed to be the one deep back there, but you can see that confusion of how they run those routes confused the Tampa defense.
Mike Magruder also back there. Courtney Hawkins is back to return the punt again. Vernon Turner is down, inactive. Reggie Roby the kick. And Hawkins fields at his own 34, a fair catch. A 51-yard punt and no return for Tampa Bay. The Redskins are up 7-0 with 7:43 to play in the first. Good-looking shot of downtown Tampa Bay on a great day for football. Nice and warm here. Steve Buckhantz with Merril Hoge. Glad you could join us today for the NFL on Fox. And Craig Erickson off to a shaky start. An interception, incompletion. He completed one short one to Courtney Hawkins. 1st and 10 from their own 33, trailing the Skins 7-0. It's Ty J. Armstrong short. The big tight end makes the grab at the 40. A gain of 7.
Well, in talking to Ty J and even Craig Erickson, they said, you know what, this guy's becoming more cocky now. He's coming in the huddle and saying, hey, give me the ball. And you can see what I like about Ty J is when he catches the ball, I don't even think he cares about scoring. He just starts looking up for Redskins to run over. I like that about Ty J. He's kind of a linebacker at the tight end position.
Linebacker in receiver's clothing. He's in for the injured Jackie Harris, who's out with shoulder surgery. 2nd and 2 at the 41. Rhett off the right side. It looks like he's got the first down, or he's very close to it. Tony Woods made the stop for Washington.
You know, Ty J is a guy who's filled in for a pretty good tight end, and he's done a good job. I want you to watch when he catches the ball. He catches the ball, and a lot of people look for the goal line, but watch him. Where's me a Redskin? And then run that one over. Okay, where's another one? Where's another one? Right there's another one. You know, he's a tough kid, boy. Well, he likes to get the ball, and he likes to run over people.
Told us the other day they give us helmets and shoulder pads for a reason. If they don't want us to hit people, they should give us purses and skirts.
Yeah, well, there's a guy who firmly believes in the shoulder pad and helmet.
You can see it's short by about 6 inches or so. Sam Weish in his 3rd year in Tampa Bay, and of course quite familiar to Redskin fans. Played for the Skins. Took over here in January of '92. There's Ty J. Armstrong. Third down and less than a yard from their own 43. Redskins on top 7-0 on a 92-yard Andre Collins interception return. Quarterback keeper for Erickson, and he's going to have the first down.
It looks like it's a first down. When I saw the official from the far side coming in, it looked well above the sticks there.
It is a first down.
You know, he was talking to us yesterday about quarterback sneaks. He said he was talking to Randall and Thomas about, you know, watch out, I'm going to run a quarterback sneak. Got back in the huddle, and they called a quarterback sneak, and he was like, oh, no.
He actually told the Viking players he was going to run it. Just kidding with them, and then they ran it. Misdirection near side. Good move by Rhett, and that's what makes him so tough, is dragging players down. He is not easy to bring down. Right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to Hollywood and James Brown. JB?
All right, Steve. Cowboys looking to continue their mastery of the Eagles. Rodney Peete at the helm finds, guess who? Michael Irvin, big play receiver. He scores his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Cowboys are ahead 7-0, less than 5 in the first. Back to the dulcet tones of Steve Buckhantz.
Oh, JB, they miss you here in Tampa Bay. You know, JB was a fixture here. He actually did more Tampa Bay games than any man in play-by-play history. I don't know if you know, that is a record. Erickson to pass off the play action and completes to Armstrong, and he's still running.
Smart play by Ty-J. A lot of times when you get, like college, when you catch the ball and you go down, you're down. But in the pros, you can get back up. I want you to watch Ty-J. He just comes back. Watch this right here. Ty-J's going to come through and get beyond the lower part of the end zone, and Erickson does a nice job in just finding him. The safety's got to go deep, which creates that seam. Nice catch. Gets up and gets a few more yards.
Close to being down as Morrison made some contact with him, but he got back up. A gain of 19 on the play for the third-year tight end from Ole Miss. 1st and 10 on the Redskin 33. Erickson down the middle. Incomplete. Covered well in the end zone was Lawrence Dawsey, and Darrell Green was all over him.
They threw the ball a little high, but, you know, you've got to take these shots. Sam Weiss talked yesterday. You know, we're going to pound down and pound on, but we've got to go deep to try to create that insert. Watch the end zone here. The offensive line does a nice job of giving him the time to throw this deep ball. He just throws it out there, just throws it a little too far for him. But I like him taking shots like that, because they're going to get more than not on this.
Good coverage by the veteran cornerback Darrell Green. Dexter Nottage in the game defensively for the Redskins on 2nd and 10 for Craig Erickson and the Bucks. There's that cadence. Rhett right side, nowhere to go, and Ken Harvey wraps him up. Boy, what a season Ken Harvey has had, and everybody on the Buccaneers is well aware of his presence.
Yeah, he's a talent no matter where. I mean, they ran away from him there, but he has the speed and ability to catch plays, especially if somebody's delayed a little bit. He has the ability to catch running backs.
3rd and 12 after a loss of 2, and Tampa Bay is...
I mean, watch this. Harvey's just going to come. He reaches, and he's going to attack Eric Redd. He gets held up there. That was a nice job by the defensive end there to hold him and avoid Eric from getting outside there, and then Harvey was able to make the play.
And Harvey got pushed from behind by Dave Moore and still made the tackle. Tampa Bay lined up as if they were going to go to the hurry-up and then decided to huddle up. 3rd and 12 at the Redskin 35. Shotgun formation for Erickson. Here comes pressure. Gets away. Fires. And incomplete, in and out of the hands of Anthony McDowell. Collins was all over him. Collins still thinks McDowell has the football.
Yeah, I think he thought he caught the ball there.
Sure he did.
And he didn't hear the whistle. He just stayed all the way to the whistle. He thinks, you know, one thing that Tampa Bay has come together here, and they're playing much better as an offensive line. And Erickson does a nice job in just avoiding the first guy, bides himself a little more time. Nobody's really open, though, and he has to throw into kind of double coverage.
Sterling Palmer had a shot at him, but couldn't quite bring him down. That shows you how strong Erickson is. Michael Husted, in his 2nd year from the University of Virginia, is on to attempt a 53-yard field goal. Good snap and hold. The kick has the distance. And it is good. In fact, it had plenty of distance. Michael Husted, who longest kick previous to this season was 49 yards, has just connected from 53, and Tampa has cut the Redskin lead to 7-3.
Well, that's going to give Tampa a little boost. I mean, that was a direct kick there. Well, they had no height in that at all. A lot of times those blocks like that get blocked.
He nailed that. He's 18 out of 27 in the field goal department. He hasn't missed inside the 40 all year, but a great kick by Husted, the second-year man from UVA.
Little headbutt there. That was nice, huh? From the punter.
Well, he's not going to get too physical,
yeah,
is he?
It's all right to get headbutts from the kickers because they're not going to be too hard.
They're not going to hurt each other.
Oh, Husted's more excited about it than Husted.
Here's Michael, 6 foot, 188 pounds, had a great career in Charlottesville. Well, we've had a pretty good first quarter here, and lots of excitement with 3:05 to play, and the Redskins up 7-3. And once again, Brian Mitchell is back there. You know, I wouldn't think, Merril, that they'd really risk it, although I know you don't think he should be in there, but somebody must have given him the clearance on the sideline.
Well, obviously, hopefully that somebody medically had to give him the clearance, but boy, you could tell he was out before he even hit the ground. You know, I think it's important to watch him, you know, and I hope the medical staff has watched him very closely because all these guys want to play. I mean, I wanted to play, but people got to stop in and stop those things sometimes.
Husted with his second straight kickoff into the end zone. This time, Mitchell will not bring it out. The last time he did, and he got pummeled. Well, they were just a couple of kids from the streets until they stepped into the ring. Now to stay on top, they'll have to sacrifice everything, even their friendship. Don't miss the world broadcast. Skins 7 and Bucks 3 with 2:57 to go in the first quarter. Steve Buckhantz with Merril Hoge from Tampa. 1st and 10 Skins at their own 20. Irvins and Smith behind Heath Shuler. This is Ricky Irvins. Cuts back, has some room, and Hardy Nickerson drags him down from behind. A gain of 8.
Well, that's a combination of a nice blocking by your offensive line. But Ricky Irvins just gave it some patience and found the backside there. I mean, he's going to come to the right side. It's going to be clogged up there, and he just bides a little time and then finds himself cutting it back and makes a nice gain of 8 yards. He's just going to come in there, no hole, bides a little time, finds it, and he's explosive. Once he sees a hole, he's going to hit it.
Both he and Rhett do that very well, cutting back. 2nd down and 2 at the Redskin 28. Again, Irvins into a pile, and this time he goes nowhere. Barney Bussey was right up there in a linebacker spot to bring him down first.
You know, Tampa Bay's defensive line has taken a lot of heat this year, but they really stepped up last week, and I think that the key for them is stepping up again. And in talking to these guys, they had a closed meeting with just themselves, said, listen, we got to pick it up. They did a nice job there of creating penetration and avoiding them from getting a first down there.
They give him a yard on the play. 3rd down and 1 at their own 29 as Brian Mitchell is in the backfield now. Correction, Ricky Irvins is still in there. Shuler nearly picked off by Charles Dimry, intended for Henry Ellard, and the Redskins will have to punt it away. Heath Shuler 0 for 3 so far in this football game. The only completion to a Redskin was to Andre Collins on defense, who returned it for a touchdown.
Guessing that's got to be some NFL record right there.
Reggie Roby on for his second punt. Courtney Hawkins is deep. There's Shuler, 3rd overall in the draft this year. And there's Roby, who's got that watch on, and he told me before the game he wears it for a specific reason. He's comfortable with just having a watch on, and then when he's on the sideline, he actually likes to time the opposition's punters, hang time and everything else. So he wears it for a reason. His punt takes a bounce. Courtney dangerously fields it, and Hawkins is taken down at about the 28. A 43-yard punt and no return. The tackle made by James Jenkins for Washington. Well, coming up next, the drive for the playoff continues when most of you will see the Falcons battle the San Francisco 49ers or the Giants and Browns. Last time Atlanta squared off against the Niners, Dion squared off against Andre Rison. Since then, they've kissed and made up. But today is a new day. You won't want to miss this. Check your local listing for the game in your area.
You know, I still think they ought to hold this game at Caesar's Palace. I mean, it would be a big turnout.
I bet you it'd be a better fight than the one last night at Caesar Palace.
Exactly. Even though they've kissed and made up, I think it would be good for the NFL. Put them at Caesar's Palace.
Riddick Bowe and Larry Donald didn't have much last night in Vegas. That would probably be a better action. First and 10 Bucks, their own 28. They trail the Skins 7-3. Eric Rett around the right side, cuts it up. Daryl Morrison is there to bring him down with Sterling Palmer and Andre Collins, but a gain of 11 yards on the play. Good blocking on the right side by Tampa.
Well, that was outstanding. I mean, you're going to see the tight end come in motion, and he creates this because he creates a corner for Eric Rett to get around. He gets on Collins and seals him inside, and then Eric Rett does a nice job in cutting up inside. It was a nice block by the tight end there to seal the inside so they could get outside there.
Scott Dill, number 76, throwing the block. Rett has carried the ball 11 times and gained 45 yards. The workhorse again, nailed by Tyrone Stowe and taken down, but a couple more yards for Eric Rett.
You know, in this game, this is the one thing Tampa Bay has done well, is run the football. They have several different run plays that they've showed Washington. Washington really hasn't been able to stop them. I would keep the ball in Eric Rett's hands. This game it's not out of hand. I mean, the turn of events and turnovers went against Tampa, but I still think you stay with Eric Rett, you're going to have a successful day.
Rett needs just 109 yards to surpass Jerry Eckwood, who holds the rookie rushing record here in Tampa Bay of 690 yards back in 1979. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Redskins 7 and the Buccaneers 3.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
High above Tampa Bay and Tampa, Florida. Boy, I tell you what, you look at the first stats of the first quarter. Tampa Bay with 5 first downs and the Redskins with none. And total yardage, the Bucks have 81 to the Redskins 4. But Washington on top 7-3. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Erickson completes to Rett. Ken Harvey all turned around, and he's up near the first down marker. Gain of 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, Charles McCray did a nice job of going out. This is a one-man screen out here, and Charles McCray comes out there and gets a nice block. And then you leave Eric Rett in the open field, and he's going to make things happen. Now watch Charles McCray. He's just going to come out there, pick the first defender, makes a nice block on Harvey, and then Eric Rett makes a nice move. First down. Nice job.
Darrell Green and Ken Harvey over there to run him out of bounds, but that is a Buccaneer first down. And boy, Eric Rett having some season, the rookie from Florida. Very high on him. Midfield, 1st and 10 Bucks. You see the Cowboys on top of the Eagles. Play fake and a beauty. Erickson going deep and too long, nearly intercepted by a diving Tom Carter, intended for Horace Copeland.
Well, those are the tough balls in this league to throw, but I tell you what, he had him open for a split second if he could have hit that. I want you to watch this. He's just going to run up a post and come in between the safeties. He is open, but it's going to take a perfect pass to get this one in there, because he's held the safeties right across. He's got a step on him, just overthrows him a little bit.
Rudy Harris and Vince Workman are in the backfield for the Bucks. On 2nd and 10 from midfield, Erickson intended along the right side for Courtney Hawkins and overthrown incomplete, and some of the Boo Birds come out here at the stadium.
You know, I don't understand this. I mean, you've run the ball successfully, and it's 7-3. Keep running the football. Eric Rett is doing a good job. The offensive line is doing a good job. I mean, Erickson's been rattled just a little bit, and let him get back in this game and calm down a little bit.
He's 4 of 10 for 49 yards and the big 92-yard interception returned by Andre Collins. Take a look at Erickson on 3rd down. He's done pretty well. A couple of touchdowns there. Dawsey and Hawkins in there as Erickson is back. fires over the middle, has a man, it's complete, it's Lawrence Dawsey, he's inside the 30, and that's a Buccaneer first down. Gain of 24 yards on the play.
You really got to give your credit to the offensive line here, because they allow Erickson enough time for that to happen. I mean, he's coming across the field, Dawsey's coming across the field, and he's really one of the last receivers he's going to look at. I want you to just watch the protection. And Erickson helps this by stepping up, too. He's buys some time, he steps up a little bit, avoids the rush on the outside. That's a nice job by your line and your quarterback working good together.
Redskins have taken a timeout, and we will as well, with 13:42 to go in the first half, and the Skins on top, 7-3.
I want you to watch Tony Woods. He's going to run a stunt here, and the offensive line does a nice job in passing the defenders off and creating a nice pocket for him. And that's a nice job by the offensive line. Working well together.
Paul Gruber told us the other day that he likes the fact that Erickson steps up in the pocket. It gives him a chance to push his man away. Tony Mayberry at center. He's playing injured, but doing a good job. Moore in motion. This is Rhett. Dexter Nottage was there to stop Eric Redd after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, they tried to trap Lamar Williams with a wham. He did a nice job in stopping that.
2nd down and 8 at the 25. Rhett has carried the ball 13 times and has 50 yards already.
You may see the 40 mark today.
Came in as the 10th best rusher in the NFC. There's that cadence. The Redskins jump. Here's a free play for Erickson. To Rhett. Harvey takes him out of bounds near the first down marker. Boy, he talked about that the other day, Merril. He is a master at the hard count, and the Redskins all season long have been jumping off sides on a hard count.
Yeah, you know, something Craig Erickson told me yesterday was very interesting, is a lot of times you'll see him jump off sides here. A lot of quarterbacks say, hey, let's just go deep with the ball. But what Craig likes to do is he likes to continually go through his progression and get a positive play. I mean, obviously, he comes down to his check down, which is his last guy. But he went through his progressions, and he felt that was his best shot. Got it to him.
Got a 5-yard penalty. We're going to repeat the 2nd down.
You got a positive play. You got a positive play, and you know that if it's not positive, you still got the penalty.
Well, they're going to take the penalty, which will repeat the down and give them 5 yards. Dexter Nottage, the guilty party. We talked to all of the Redskins. Tony Woods yesterday said you have to just concentrate on not jumping off sides with that hard count.
They said when you come out of the huddle, he goes, you know times when they're going to use it. 2nd and long, 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. You need to be aware of that. That's when you really got to focus.
2nd and 3 at the Redskin 20. This is McDowell up the middle. Tyrone Stowe hit him first. Well, Erickson actually said that he used to take a tape recorder home, yell the hard count into the tape recorder to get his cadence down, and then replay it back so he could master it. Of course, he said his neighbors thought he was a very strange individual when they heard the tape recorder.
Yeah, they felt like he might have. I was going to ask him if he got evicted for doing that.
He's good at it.
He told us about that, but he never gave us the secret.
No, he didn't. You're right.
What helped him. Steve DeBerg started that with him.
Well, he learned it
with that. And he took the tape recorder to help him master this, but he still said there's one little thing there that it's a secret and I can't tell.
Like a good magician, they never tell, and he worked his magic there to get the first down. 50% for 69 yards and the 1 INT, which is really the only striking error for Erickson here so far, as the Redskins lead by that miscue, 7-3, but the Bucs threatening. 1st and 10 at the Redskins 17 with 12 minutes to go in the first half. Play fake. Gouveia coming. Pass complete to McDowell. Spins away from Morrison, and has a first down at about the 12-yard line. Correction, inside the 10.
What a great job by Erickson, and then a nice individual effort by Morrison to break the tackle and get a first down. Hey, watch Erickson. I mean, he's got somebody's face right away. Gets the ball out to him. Then Morrison does a nice individual effort here of getting a first down.
Kurt Gouveia was on top of him, and a great play fake by Erickson, who's excellent at that. Here comes Gouveia, and then McDowell breaks the tackle of Morrison. Morrison has missed 3 tackles here so far in the first half. It's 1st and goal at the Redskins 7. Moore in motion. This is Rhett. Has a hole to about the 2. Inside the 2, they'll mark it at the 1.5-yard line. 2nd and goal from about the 1.5.
I want to watch the guy coming in motion here, and this is just going to give it to Eric Rhett and then give him the option here. He's going to take it to the right, and then he's just going to feel his way for a hole, sees up the middle, and then that's one thing that Eric Rhett really does well, is when he sees a hole, he hits it.
Charles McCray with a nice job on Tim Johnson. Looked like he might have had a hold of his shoulder pad there. 2nd and goal at the 2. Moore in motion again. Rhett the handoff. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Eric Rhett with his 4th touchdown of the season. All 4 rushing.
I mean, this is the exact same play they just ran, and they've ran this successfully all day. I mean, I would keep running this play. Washington has not been able to shut this down. Eric Rhett's going to get the ball. It's going to come in motion again. It's the exact same play. Only thing about this is oftentimes the hole's in different places, but that's why Eric Rhett has nice vision, and he's able to see everything. He bites. Even though he's a rookie, I mean, he's really starting to play like a veteran now.
Great job by Paul Gruber to push Tim Johnson out of the way. Michael Husted for the point after. It is good, and for the first time today, the Buccaneers have taken the lead. With 10:19 to play in the first half, it's Tampa 10 and Washington 7. Brian Mitchell, who needs just 34 yards to break the 2,000-yard mark in combined total yards, has already set the team record, breaking Bobby Mitchell's record of 1,852. He'll take it 2 yards deep. Up the middle, diving to the 20, just shy of there. And I wonder if he's a little bit leery after getting knocked out on the first play of the game. 10:08 to go, and the Redskins now find themselves down by 3. Blockbuster Video Blimp, part of the 1994 nationwide tour on behalf of the Children's Miracle Network. What a beautiful day it is here in Tampa Bay. The fans are extremely emotional here, not just because Tampa has the lead, but of course, you've heard about the pending sale of this football team. They like to keep their team here in Tampa Bay, and they feel like the way to do it would be to win some football games. As Shuler comes out throwing, nearly picked off as Henry Ellard. There's a flag down, and I think this might be on Henry Ellard. And getting back to the fans here, they have just been crazed over the week with all the talk of the different prospective buyers of this football team. Of course, Peter Angelos, who owns the Orioles, is one of the guys that's been in here to talk with the Hugh Culverhouse Trust Fund.
Offensive pass interference, number 85, the 10-yard penalty. First down.
You know, something Eric Curry did say, he goes, you know, even if it's not a sellout, he knows that I know the fans in the stadium are the loyal fans. These are the guys, and that makes me want to play harder, because the people that are in the stands are our loyal fans.
Well, Financial World magazine values this team at $142 million, but the bidding could drive the price up as high as $200 million. They've had folks in here from the Outback Steakhouse Corporation, which is based here in Tampa, Chris Sullivan and Bob Basham, Angelo, Stan Kroenke. Even George Steinbrenner is talking about buying this team. He lives in Tampa. Shuler airing it out. Has a man. Caught. Desmond Howard. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, 81 yards. And now, you think he's emotional?
I'll tell you what, there's a confidence builder for that young man right there. And even Desmond Howard struggled too. I mean, both of those kids need plays like this to help them. And I'll tell you what, that man right there, North Turner, he don't show how excited he is, but he's excited for these guys that happen.
And he's excited to see his young quarterback put some steam on the football. And what a pass that was, Merril.
Well, I think that's one of the things they liked about Heath Shuler is his ability to throw the ball deep. You know, he said he's had to work on the short game, the touch and stuff like that, and Norv's helping him with that. But there's one thing that you can't teach, and that's to throw the ball a long ways, and he can do that.
Shuler's 5th touchdown of the season, and it was a beauty. So the Redskins strike quickly. In fact, both of their touchdowns have been long plays. Chip Lohmiller, the point after, is good. So 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the first half, and take a look at Desmond Howard on the ISO replay.
Yeah, watch Desmond Howard here. I mean, he's just going to come up, and he doesn't beat him badly, but he gets inside position. And then Heath puts the ball in front of him and lets him go get it. Now, that's a great job by the receiver to get open like that, but then he's Shuler to realize where his position is and put the ball in the right place.
That's the 27th catch of the year for Howard, his 5th touchdown, and that leads the Redskins. Ellard has 4 of them.
There's a calm guy. You know he's excited, though. Yeah, this is a little, yeah, we're all right. We're all right.
We ain't number 1 by a long shot.
Well, don't throw it too high in the air, but you know, that's calm. I want you to watch it. Now, he gets him turned around here, and then he gets inside position on him. And he does a nice job. I mean, really, Shuler does the best job here in putting the ball out in front of him and then letting Desmond Howard go after it.
He just got the defender turned around and then sped out there, and that ball was right there.
And that's really good communication with us. You like to see that. I mean, these guys haven't had a lot of time to work together, but to be able to complete these things for a long pass play like that, it's showing signs that these guys are improving.
And Desmond Howard throwing the football against the wall like that is a bit of release of frustration. He has been trying to get the media and all the monkeys off his back this season. People have been down on him, saying he doesn't have what it takes. Well, he had it on that play.
Yeah, and I think that this gives the Washington fans something to get excited about. There's the potential that this team will have.
Buckley and Wilson are deep, but Lohmiller really nails it. In fact, all 3 kicks in that direction, Lohmiller and 2 by Husted, have gone deep into the end zone, so it will come out. And there's a penalty flag and a personal foul. And the Buck players are clapping. I didn't see it.
Well, this burns a coach more than anything. I mean, there's no reason for this.
It is against the Redskins. It is a personal foul, and I took my eye off the screen for a moment. It obviously happened in the end zone. There's Norv Turner and Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator. There's Pat Eilers, who's one of the better special teams players for the Redskins, and let's see who it's on.
Personal foul, number 36 on the kicking team. We're going to assess a 15-yard penalty from the 20-yard line, first down.
You watch him in the lower part of the bell on the screen here. Going to come down and talk a little trash. William Bell give him a little headshot there too. I mean, that's really not necessary.
William Bell, the rookie from Georgia Tech, a free agent this year with a little extra pushing. And that brings the ball out to the 35-yard line where the Bucks operate 1st and 10. 9:47 to go, first half. Eric Rett. Leonard Marshall on the stop. Well, here's our Aflac trivia question this afternoon. Who was the Buccaneers' leading passer in the franchise's inaugural season? We'll have the answer for you in just a moment. Do you know the answer, Merril?
Yeah, but I won't give it away right now.
You know it because you saw it
exactly
earlier. All right. Gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8 at the 37. Red again has a hold, breaks a tackle, out to midfield and into Redskin territory before Tom Carter brings him down. Darrell Morrison, the initial hit, a pickup of 15 yards and a Tampa Bay first down.
I want you to watch Mayberry on this. He does a nice job in blocking, and they're actually spreading the defense out now. Now watch Mayberry down here at the bottom of the screen, seals him back, and he comes right behind him. It's a nice job.
Eric Redd having a tremendous first half. The Redskin defense is allowing over 124 yards a game rushing. That's 26th in the NFL. 1st and 10 at the Skins 49. Again, Rett. And Woods makes the tackle to save what could have been a big gainer. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's head back to Hollywood and JB.
Right, Buck, I tell you what, Dallas is starting to warm up. A 44-yard pass play from Pete to Michael Irvin set up this 4-yard run by Emmitt Smith. Look at the block by Michael Irvin, doing it all. Dallas right now on top of Philly, 14-3. Back to Washington's own, Steve Buckhantz.
Thank you, JB. And we've got a good game here, too, but there is another player down in the middle of the football field, and it's the guy that made the stop, Tony Woods. Second Redskin injured here today, but he is sitting up, and that's a good sign as Bubba Tyre, the team trainer, and Dr. Charles Jackson are out there to help him up.
Yeah, watch. I just think he gets a foot to the face here. But that's a nice sign to see. The guys are down on the field, and they get up and they walk off, and heck, even trotted off, so that means he'll be back. When you watch, he just gets a little foot in the face right here. When he's diving out there to Red, he just gets it right back up there under the chin there.
You're right. Nice effort by Tony Woods, who is out of the University of Pittsburgh, an unrestricted free agent from the Rams this year in his 8th season. 2nd down and 2 for the Buccaneers. They trail the Redskins 14-10 with 7:55 to go first half. Rhett again in the middle. He's hit by Tyrone Stowe, and if Stowe doesn't hit him, he's got even more yards. He picked up 6 here.
You're exactly right. He is one step away, or one defender away from going all the way.
Yep.
But I like what Tampa's doing here. I mean, they're doing what's been successful. I mean, oftentimes you see teams do a couple things successfully and then get away from it. I like him staying with it. I want to watch McCray. I mean, all these offensive linemen are doing a nice job, and McCray really does a nice job in sealing the hole so that Eric can get right through there.
1st and 10 at the Redskin 36. This time it's Vince Workman, and Workman goes nowhere. Leonard Marshall put a shoulder pad into him, and Tyrone Stowe was there as well. It was a nice defensive play by the Redskin line.
You know, Workman is a guy, I'm talking to Eric Rhett. He's a guy who feels like he's a quarterback back there for him. He's helped Eric Rhett, and plus he's helped Craig Erickson. Craig Erickson feels very comfortable when he's back there, especially in 3rd downs. He knows he runs the ball well, but he's like a quarterback back there when he needs protections and things going on there on 3rd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 36. There's a look at Vince Workman in his 6th year from Ohio State. Ball at the 36. Erickson will throw this time. Has protection. And a man over the middle. Lawrence Dawsey with a penalty flag down. Dives inside the 15. And let's see what the flag is. Gain of 23 yards on the play. And Dawsey, who has become probably the best receiver on this team after missing the first 7 games with an injury, has been tremendous for Tampa Bay. It's an illegal hit by the Redskins, and certainly that will be declined as Dawsey came into this game with 28
I
catches.
want you to watch Dawsey here in the zone. He's just going to come through, and he gets above Tyrone Stowe, and Erickson has enough time to let him get beyond the zone. He gets above Tyrone Stowe, and then he does a nice job of putting the ball right where it needs to be. Super job.
Wow, that's close to being a late hit by Tim Johnson. But the referee right there, Bernie Kukar. And with 6 minutes to go in the half, Tampa Bay threatening at the Redskin 12. Moore in motion. Eric Rhett, he goes nowhere. Tony Woods with a great defensive effort.
Yeah. You know, Washington did some stunning there. You're going to see Washington stunt more and bring an 8-man front up there, because once a team runs on you as successfully as Tampa, you're going to have to bring people up there to stop it, and you're going to have to stun it. I want you at the bottom of the screen. It's just going to be a little stunt there. He's going to come up under, and he's able to create penetration and get in the backfield and get Rhett. That's the kind of things that the defensive line is going to have to do to stop this running game of Tampa.
Loss of 4 on the play. 2nd and 14 at the 16. Rhett and McDowell in the I formation. Dawsey in motion. Erickson all day to throw the football. Hits Dawsey, and he is sandwiched by Kurt Gouveia and Ken Harvey.
Well, I tell you what, receivers, that's a sign of a tough receiver. Go in the middle there with the linebackers. But he does a nice job in settling in the zone. Watch him, top of the screen. He's just going to come in here and he's going to settle down in between linebackers. And then Erickson does a nice job. This is one guy Erickson said, he goes, you know what? When I get in a jam, I love throwing to this guy, even if he's covered.
Ooh.
And you need somebody like that. Every quarterback needs a guy that they believe, even though he's covered, if he puts it out there, he's going to go get it.
That was a nasty hit with Gouveia and Harvey. 3rd and 6 at the Redskin 8. Look at the time of possession. Unbelievable. Even more so that the Redskins lead, and now Erickson is going to have to take a timeout, but he didn't get it in. A penalty flag claimed down, and that's going to cost him. The referee called the timeout, Bernie Kukar, but the side judge threw the flag.
Ball start. Number 80 on the offense prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, you know, I'm not so sure that if he didn't come across the line of scrimmage, I'm not so sure the receiver can move as long as he gets set before the snap of the ball. Let's watch Stassi. Watch it. I don't know if he go. Well, yep, he went across the line of scrimmage. Yep. I'm an offensive player, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Now it's 3rd and 11 at the Redskin 13. 14-10, Skins leading the Bucks. Erickson steps up, has a man, touchdown Tampa Bay, Anthony McDowell.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, again, I don't want to stay on the offensive line, but the offensive line and Craig Erickson are working so good together. I mean, the offensive line provides enough protection, but then Erickson steps up just enough time to find these open players. And McDowell does a nice job of just going straight down the middle, getting open in the zone. I want you to watch here from the end zone. You're going to get a feel of what Erickson's done. When he steps back here, he feels pressure. He steps up to bide himself some time. There he is. McDowell, nice job.
They told us the other day, Merril, that they highly regarded the Redskin pass rush, but the Redskins have had no pass rush whatsoever here in the first half.
Yeah, well, I think something that Tony Mayberry told us yesterday was, you know, these guys, it's the first time in the last few weeks they've all got to play together, you know, and that team unity is very important.
Bucks have regained the lead.
Now it's a 49er tie. Quarterback Steve Young to wide receiver Steve Young. Number 3, Michael Irvin, all because of that grab. Number 2, Icky Woods and the Icky Shuffle. Woo! Nice moves, but Mr. Sunday Afternoon Fever is still Al Del Greco and his Houston Hitch. Getting funky. I'm the Hat. See you next week.
Here's the Aflac trivia question. Who was the Buccaneers' leading passer in the franchise's inaugural season? We'll have the answer for you right after the kick, following a 9-play, 65-yard drive. On a bounce, Brian Mitchell. Mitchell breaks a tackle and dives for good yardage. And the answer to the trivia question, Steve Spurrier, who threw for 1,628 yards in 1976 and had him a heck of a day yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, nice win against Alabama. It was a heck of a game. That's their second one in a row.
Craig Erickson, 10 of 16. He's hit his last 6 passes. He's got 122 yards, the touchdown, and the interception. Well, the Redskins have had but 8 plays from scrimmage in the first half. Tampa Bay has had 39. First and 10 on the 26. Heath Shuler continues at quarterback. Pumps, steps up. He's going nowhere. Sacked by Wheeler and Culpepper.
You know what? These guys have really stepped up. I mean, last week, they came away with 3 sacks. All of them were involved in tackles. And the key is stepping up again this week. And they got some great penetration there. And I think they'll both share that sack right there for each other.
Well, in the first 11 games, they had but 9 sacks. Last week, they had 5. 4 of them in the first half on Warren Moon and the Vikings.
Yeah, I think you get a feel what Heath Shuler feels like right there. It's not that easy to step back there and throw the football when you got guys like that after you.
Loss of 7 on the play. 2nd and 17 for the Skins at the 19. Shuler has a man. It's Irvins. Nice move by Ricky Irvins and then taken out of bounds by Marty Carter.
Yeah, he put a nice move on Lonnie Marks there to get some extra yards.
Take another look at the defensive line last week. Everybody had a sack in this group except for Chidi Ahanatu, but boy, they were impressive against the Vikes.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Moon all kinds of problems. They get 3 sacks between them. They all were involved in tackles. And when your defensive linemen are doing things like that, you allow players like Hardy Nickerson and Thomas Everett and all of the players in the back to make big plays and help out.
3rd and 16 at the 20. Olanda Truitt is in the game at a wide receiver for Washington. Shuler with time. Finds Irvins. Breaks the tackle of Marty Carter, but not the tackle of Mike Magruder.
You know, Heath Shuler is a young guy, and it's tough to get a lot of confidence in yourself when you're 3rd and 16, 3rd and 17. These 3rd and long situations aren't good for a young quarterback to have to be in. But I like what he did there. I like that he just dropped the ball off, tried to let his running back make a play.
2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. It's the Buccaneers 17 and the Skins 14.
Possesses. A nice kick.
When I asked him about the watch, he said, well, it's obviously not to time my own hang time. That would be impossible.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do that. That'd be a nice trick.
That would be a trick. Watch Brian Mitchell in the fray here.
Yeah, Brian Mitchell, huh?
And Demetrius DuBose.
Well, maybe he is all right. I mean, he's fighting back.
I'll tell you what.
Not taking any guff.
He doesn't take any guff from anybody. He's the feistiest little guy you'll ever see.
Well, I hope he is all right. That's the one thing I have concern for him. I hope he's all right.
1st and 10, Bucks, their own 26. They lead the Redskins 17-14. Again, the Redskins jump. Flags fly. This is a free play, and it's Rhett. Collins drags him down from behind. Boy, that cadence and that hard count has just baffled the Redskins all season.
Yeah, you know, and actually, Redskins are stunting again, and they actually stunted their way right out of the run there. And Eric Rhett, nice job again of having patience and executing the run well. I mean, he's done a super job all day of doing this.
Gain of 11 on the play. They're going to bring the chains into measure.
Offside on the defense, number 98. The penalty is declined.
Listen to Craig Erickson's cadence. Boy, that audio was loud and clear. There's just no question about it. And I have no problem with that, Merril, but I think sometimes the officials tend to disregard the shrugging of the shoulders of a quarterback, which in many cases will draw a defense offside. The 2-minute warning. We'll be back after this. Coming up, the Dockers halftime with James Brown and Terry Bradshaw. They'll have scores and highlights and also the best hits of the month in the NFL on Crunch Time. Second down and inches. Amazingly, the Redskins with 1 first down and 11 plays from scrimmage, and they trail by just 3. Rhett has 92 yards on 21 carries and a touchdown. 2nd and inches at the 36. This is Rhett. He's got the first down. Ken Harvey made the stop. 1st and 10, Tampa Bay.
You might see a little more of Vince Workman here in a little bit because Eric Rhett is getting a lot of carries right now. That's a lot of load for any running back.
Hurry up as the clock continues to move at 1:40. See, the Skins have 2 left. The Bucks have 1 timeout remaining. Erickson deep down the field, and it is overthrown, intended for Thomas. Tom Carter was right with him. No flags.
Yeah,
incomplete.
Tom Carter did a nice job in covering him there. You know, defensive corners get left out on the island like that, but he did a nice, had great inside protection. I want you to watch this. He takes inside. He runs with him step by step. He's got a good inside technique, playing the football. Nice job by the corner there.
Lamar Thomas in his 2nd year from the University of Miami came into this game with 5 catches. Monty Coleman is in for the Redskins at a linebacker. Alan Grant is also in the defensive secondary. 3 wide receivers with Hawkins in motion. Erickson steps up, fires deep, and again overthrows the intended receiver Horace Copeland with Carter back there and Darrell Morrison.
Yeah, I want you to watch the bottom receiver here. He gets through and gets wide open, but I think, watch the bottom receiver right here. He gets through, but Erickson, I think when he steps up, that little extra momentum takes the ball, I think. Takes through, he's got to step on him. It's going to have to be a nice throw, kind of like the situation of Heath Shuler. You know, he put it laid out there in front of him, but I think when Erickson stepped up a little bit, it took that momentum with him and it allowed it. It enabled him to throw the ball a little too far.
Darrell Green told us yesterday that Horace Copeland is the guy he feared most of the wide receivers because he can get deep on you. 3rd and 10 at their own 39. Draw play to Vince Workman. Workman dragged down, goes nowhere. Andre Collins the stop, the leading tackler on this Redskin team who came in with 123 total tackles.
You know what? I don't think that's a very good call there. It's 3rd and 10, and you're going to run a draw, and actually you got 2 backs. You got a running formation there they've been running out of all day, and Redskins blitzed right into it. That doesn't give yourself a very good chance to get a first down running that kind of play.
Skins immediately take a timeout to stop the clock at 1:03. Well, this is a big day, and as we get down to the nitty-gritty, Merril, you've got NFC playoffs at stake. Division leaders, of course, San Francisco's clinched it. Dallas has a shot at it, and Minnesota, and 6 teams will make the playoffs from this group.
Yeah, and I think that if you look at the wild card situation there, I really believe Chicago has the advantage there. You know, obviously they control their destiny, and they're going to have to win the division outright. They're going to lose a tiebreaker with Minnesota. We still have to play Green Bay, so that's still unknown. But they're still in a good position. I know that the loss Thursday is a heartbreaker, but we still control our destiny as far as that's concerned, and I believe the 49ers and Dallas are the team to beat in every division.
And Dallas is beating Philadelphia 14-6 at the half. They can clinch the division title with a win or a tie over the Eagles today. Dan Straczynski is in to punt for Tampa Bay, and Brian Mitchell is deep for Washington. Calls for the fair catch at the 23 and makes it. And that's where the Redskins will operate with 54 seconds to go in the half, a 37-yard punt and no return. And the Redskins, after that timeout, now have 1 timeout remaining. As you look at Tampa Stadium from up above. Been a nice weekend here. They called for a chance of showers today and yesterday, but it hasn't happened, and it's been hot, a little bit humid here as you look at Norv Turner. And Heath Shuler, the prized rookie from Tennessee. See what he can do here with 54 seconds and 1 timeout. Redskins trail 17-14. Shuler diving for Howard, some contact, but Charles Dimry was all over him, and it's incomplete.
You can tell that their passing game, the timing's off just a little bit. And how you're going to get timing, I mean, you can practice all you want, but there's a different sense of a game speed. When you play, I mean, the level is picked up, the speed is picked up. So this is why the games are so important for Heath. Talking to Norv Turner yesterday, and I know from playing that, you know, there's a different speed out here playing. So these games are very important for him to improve.
The one thing he really hasn't done much of is go short across the middle. Everything's been deep or wide out. Again, Shuler with time. This one's deep down the left side, and it's overthrown, intended for Desmond Howard. And again, Charles Dimry providing defensive coverage.
You know, he's hit one big one with Desmond, and you could tell he's trying to get another big one with Desmond. But another thing, you could tell that when he locked onto Desmond, he was going to Desmond. Watch Desmond. He's just going to come up here and run a go route. Does a little stutter there, tries to fake him and go deep with it. Didn't bite. Dimry does a nice job of not biting and then recovering and playing the football. Then Heath just laid it out there a little too far for him.
The only first down for the Redskins was the bomb to Desmond Howard. 3rd and 10 at the 23. Shuler with time. Deep again, right side. He's got a man. It's Orlando Truitt. Truitt is going to score. Touchdown, Redskins. 77 yards.
Well, that's the exact same play they ran, only on the other side. And if I was the Redskins, I'd run that pass play every play. I mean,
Why not?
They've hit it big both times.
Unbelievable. Take another look at it.
Yeah, I want you to watch right up here, the top of your screen. He's just going to come across the safety, and get him inside again. Again, it looks like a blown coverage from Tampa.
That's Tony Covington.
Yeah, Tony should have been deep there. And you could tell he got sucked up with the rest of the other receivers and allowed him to get deep. Truitt does a nice job of getting past there, and then when you're wide open like that, sometimes those are the hardest balls to catch, but they only catch it and then get in the end zone.
Boy, this game is just wacky. The Redskins have barely had the football, and again, they've taken the lead. They've scored on plays of 92, 81, and 77 yards. As Chip Lohmiller's point after is good, Olanda Truitt with congratulations. The Skins are back on top.
Wayne Winfield and Ron Lee.
I want you to watch the top of the screen and then the safety right here. He gets sucked up on a crossing route, and that allows him to get deep behind him. Now he sees the crossing route. Now he bites that for some reason, and then, uh-oh, it's too late now. These guys are too fast to allow that. Then Heath again puts the ball in a nice position for the receiver to run under the ball and continue to go.
Olanda Truitt in his second year from Mississippi State. That's only his second catch of the season. The first one was good for 12 yards, and this one is good for a bomb and a touchdown.
Well, if he keeps that average up, he should break some kind of record, shouldn't he?
So the Redskins have regained the lead with 28 seconds to go in the first half, 21-17. In what has been a very entertaining football game between these two squads that don't have any playoff aspirations but are looking to finish out the season strong. Lohmiller puts a strong leg into it. Nobody's going to field that. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. And this Thursday night on Fox, two of the toughest undercover cops in New York. But
over there.
Yeah, that is deep undercover. I'm not saying anything. You'll get us all in big trouble. Look from the blockbuster blimp at Tampa Stadium. Pretty good crowd, too. As you can see, the place seats about 78 grand. They said they sold about 40,000, but very emotional and vocal crowd here this afternoon. They want to keep their Buccaneers in Tampa. 1st and 10 at the 20. Erickson to throw. He's got it complete to Hawkins, who gets out of bounds. Was hit hard by Martin Bayless to stop the clock. And it is very near a first down.
Yeah, and a little discussion going on there. Like, don't come my way again. You're lucky you got out of bounds on that one.
Greg Erickson was really impressive in our meeting yesterday, Merril. He's a confident guy. He's feisty. You just like his attitude.
Yeah, and I think that any team that has a player like that or a quarterback like that is in a plus situation in the quarterback department.
He has worked hard in his 3 years out of Miami here in Tampa. 22 seconds and counting now. With plenty of time. Goes over the middle, and a tremendous catch is made by Lawrence Dawsey. What a grab. That looked like it was over his head. The clock is ticking. 9 seconds, a gain of 23 yards, and now Tampa Bay stops it with their final time out of the half. What a grab by Dawsey.
All right, Dawsey, you're on the highlight film now. Boy, he stuck that long arm up there and got the ball down to give him a chance to catch it. Watch it come across here. You know, you can tell when Erickson steps up, he goes right to the middle. Watch him now. See, he throws the ball out there, gets up there. Nice catch. Beautiful. Unbelievable.
In his 4th year from Florida State, Lawrence Dawsey, who came into the game with 392 yards through the air and a touchdown, and there was no pass rush because the Skins were in that prevent defense, and Dawsey comes up with a circus grab.
Yeah, all these receivers for Tampa, everybody's seeming to step up and do something different to help this offense out. And that's what the Erickson said yesterday, is he's feeling very comfortable in all of the guys he's throwing to right now. Sure, he has some guys that he feels that he can throw to when they're covered, but he really likes seeing Ty.J. Armstrong is really stepping it up now.
Dawsey has 4 receptions in the game for 78 yards. So the Buccaneers with the ball at the Redskin 48. Trailing the Skins once again, 21-17, and just 8 seconds left. They are out of timeouts. Erickson. Intercepted by Bayless, and the clock never moved. The clock is still, now it's moving. It's a little late to move it now.
Well, we're in Tampa. We're in Tampa.
It was at 8 seconds, and it never moved. And then when he caught the ball and got tackled, the clock operator decided to let it go, and it's now stopped at 3.
1 second.
Well, the official time, of course, is kept on the field, and so...
And that's the reasoning for that. Because sometimes those things happen.
Right.
These guys keep it down there on the field at all times, so that can't happen.
So with 1 second to go in the half and the Skins up 21-17, either Heath Shuler's going to take a knee or go deep for one more shot.
Yeah, I'd run that same play again.
Well, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
And so a very unusual first half has come to an end, one that saw the Redskins with just 2 first downs. That's the end of the first half with a score. Tampa Bay 17, the Skins 21. Stay tuned for the Doctor's halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station.
Going to have to continue to do the things they've done. Obviously not give up the big play, but run the ball offensively.
Heath Shuler 4 of 10, 164 yards, 2 TDs in the first half. Craig Erickson 11 of 20, 149 yards, the 1 touchdown and 2 INTs. Rhett has rushed the ball for 96 yards. On the kickoff, Charles Wilson breaks 1 tackle, but not the tackle of Lamont Hollenquest, and Tampa Bay will operate 1st and 10. So Sam Weish, and what kind of adjustments do you make at halftime, Merril?
Well, obviously the one adjustment they have to make is the safeties on defense. I mean, they've been beat not once but twice for touchdowns. And offensively, I don't think you change anything. You've run the ball well. You continue to do that. You're only down by 4 points. You know, this game is not out of hand by any means. It's a very good game, but stay with the game plan.
You're just getting beat by big plays at this point.
Exactly. You correct that, you know, Tampa stands a very good chance.
Rhett breaks a couple of tackles, is out to the 30-yard line.
And it looks like they're going to do that. I mean, this is how they started out the game, and it looks like that's how they're going to start the second half. And I like that. I think that is a very good coaching move to do that.
100 yards for Eric Rhett. The 3rd time this year. He's got 100 or 100 plus by the time this game is over. He had a couple of them back-to-back earlier in the season against Detroit and Seattle. He has really been a heck of a ball player for the Buccaneers, rookie out of Florida. Again, the hard count. Again, a penalty flag. Well, you could hear that plain as day. And he's been doing that all afternoon.
That might have been Ty J. Armstrong in the slot.
Number 86 on the offense prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, Jerry Eckwood is the rookie rushing leader for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but young Eric Rhett needs but 8 yards to tie him today. Eckwood setting the mark back in 1979 here in Tampa.
You know what? He may do he may tie him on his next carry. Well, the way he's been running today.
He's got 3 more games after this. It's now 2nd and 11 at the 25. Erickson to pass. Screen play. He's got McDowell with room. Good block, and McDowell is out of bounds. Dexter Nottage rode him out. Ian Beckles was over there to make a tremendous block, a gain of 6.
Yeah, you had a little bit of both there. It was a nice screen, nice setup. Nice block by the offensive line getting out there. And then Washington did a nice job defending it. Watch it. It's going to come right at you. McDowell's just going to set up, get under his offensive lineman. Boy, he almost got it picked off there by Marshall.
Yep.
And he gets the ball, does a nice job in setting up the line, staying outside. Yep. A little takedown, a little handstand, and a flip.
Brings up 3rd and 5. Sterling Palmer was the man that put the hit on the quarterback from Miami. 3rd and a long 5. Blitz coming. They pick it up, but he throws the ball behind McDowell and incomplete. Tony Woods was back there. They had somebody coming right up the middle.
Yeah, he was wide open there. I mean, nobody even touched him. And that was a nice job. There's obviously a blitz adjustment. They have to do that with the back. He just didn't have time to get his feet set and get him the ball.
Well, he had Monty Coleman staring him in the face, and probably the reason why he threw the ball behind the intended receiver, McDowell.
Sure.
Brian Mitchell is back deep. Dan Straczynski, high punt. Mitchell fields at the 26. Eludes 1 tackler. And then taken down by Demetrius DeBose. 12:52 to go in the 3rd, and the Redskins remain with the lead. Tampa, Florida, with downtown in the background. Piloting the blockbuster video blimp for today's game is Terry Dillard of Lake Monroe, Florida, doing a heck of a job up there in beautiful, bright blue skies. Brian Mitchell is in the backfield for Washington with James Jenkins in motion. This is Mitchell. And nice play defensively. Looked like Lonnie Martz, and it was.
Yeah, and you might even get a little holding on Lonnie Martz. This is actually the first time Washington's really come out and tried to run the ball on the first play of a series.
Not only did Martz make a tremendous play, but they held him to boot. Raleigh McKenzie just takes him down. And
looks like Curry may have got a shoulder there.
Yeah, it looks like the way he's running off with that thing hanging. There you see Raleigh McKenzie with a full takedown, and Martz still made the play. What an effort by Lonnie Martz.
Yeah, that was outstanding play by Lonnie Martz. And you know, this is the thing Washington hasn't been able to do the first half. They're gonna they keep getting themselves in trouble, long yardage situations, and that's not good for your offense, and it's not good for a young quarterback to be in these situations. But now's a time where you don't need to come out and hit the bomb. Just come out and get something positive and get yourself back in a second and medium.
The Redskins have had but 4 running plays all afternoon. 1st and 15. Play fake. Shuler with plenty of time. Has a man. Great catch by Desmond Howard. A penalty flag is down on the near side. Charles Dimry was providing coverage, but Howard with a terrific grab and a gain of 20. That will be enough for a first down. Let's wait and see what the flag is. Is it an illegal hit? No, it's holding against Tampa Bay, which is an automatic first down. So either way, the Redskins will have a first.
Desmond Howard makes a nice individual effort here just to catch the ball. I mean, he's well covered here. Actually, this is kind of the play that they've been hitting deep, but you can see the safety in the back. He's staying deep now. So now he's putting it over there. And that's one thing Shuler has done better. He's felt he had to work on touch, but he said, hey, Norv Turner has helped me put touch on the football. It's one thing that Norv Turner has taught him, he said.
It looked like Dimry didn't even know the ball was coming in Howard's direction. He wasn't looking at him. 1st and 10. Play fake again. Shuler steps up, fires right, and has a man. And this time Cedric Smith, who had all kinds of problems holding on to the football last week against the Giants, makes the grab. Hardy Nickerson is there for the stop.
Hey.
By Hardy Nickerson. 3-yard gain.
Well, Heath Shuler has been sacked 1 time in this football game, and the Redskins offensive line has allowed just 15 sacks, the 5th fewest in the entire National Football League. So now it's 16 sacks on the year. 2nd and 7 at the 38. Ricky Irvins with nowhere to go. Barney Bussey the stop, and right now for a McDonald's game break, let's go back out to Hollywood and James Brown. JB?
Hey, Buck, an excellent kick return by Herschel Walker of the 30-yard variety. Set up this play here. Randall play action rollout. Finds Fred Barnett, 25-yard strike. We've got a ball game in Philly. It's now 21-13 Dallas. That in the 3rd. Back to Tampa Bay. Steve Buckhantz and Merril Hoge.
All right, JB, we got a football game at the Vet.
You know, Tampa needs, Philadelphia needs to win that one. I mean, they're on a 3-game losing streak, and they need to put an end to that to get back in the playoff race.
Another big 3rd down play for the Redskins. 3rd down and about 8. Shuler with time and throws too far for Desmond Howard, who nearly made a one-handed grab. Former Redskin Martin Mayhew was back there to cover, but Reggie Roby comes on to punt.
Now They finally blitzed Heath Shuler, and I thought you would see that a little earlier in the game. But the offensive line and the backs do a nice job at picking this all up. And then Heath has time to step back there and get the ball away. But everybody does a nice job. Tight ends, running backs, and the line did a nice job of picking that up. Just overthrew Desmond Howard a little bit.
Reggie Roby with the best average in the National Football League, just under 45 yards a kick, and he has hit a couple of boomers here today. Got the wind at his back. See what he does. This one's a little lower, but again, it drives Courtney Hawkins way back, takes a great bounce, and they can't save it in.
You know, that might be the hardest play in football to do that. I mean, to stop the ball and get the ball out of there.
Johnny Thomas tried to get it, a 63-yard punt by Roby. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited. Steve Buckhantz with Merril Hoge from Tampa, Florida. 1st and 10 Bucks on their own 20. Play fake. Erickson has a man. It's Dave Moore, the tight end. Ken Harvey rides him out of bounds, but that's a gain of 13 and a first down. And as you look at the playoff picture in the AFC, this is where the real race is, Merril.
Yeah, you're exactly right. San Diego, Miami, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Kansas City, I believe, are all great candidates to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think the strongest teams obviously are in the NFC, but these 5 teams right here all have a great shot. I know Pittsburgh has the edge on Cleveland right now because they beat them at Cleveland, and they're winning right now 14-7 at Cincinnati. But next week, they're going to play, well, they play Cleveland in the second week to the end of the season, and they go to San Diego. So that's going to be 2 good tests for Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
So the Steelers can clinch a playoff berth with a win at Cincinnati or some other possibilities. Miami can clinch a playoff berth with a win over Buffalo. Cleveland can clinch a playoff berth with a win over the Giants and some other possibilities. San Diego can clinch the division title with a win over the Raiders, and Kansas City lost to Denver.
Number 86 on the offense, grabbing and twisting the face mask. That's a 15-yard penalty from where the play ended. First down.
Well, I want you to watch Ty J right here. This is the kind of thing that Ty J has been being accused of, stuff like this. And once you get a reputation, officials are going to watch this kind of thing. And once you get out of bounds or the whistle's over, play should stop, and players have got to learn that.
That could have gone either way, face mask or unnecessary roughness.
You know, I don't think this guy is a dirty player. I just think he is a real aggressive player. And some of the things like that may look dirty, but I just know he's a little too aggressive, and he needs to learn how to control that, though, because people are starting to see that and perceive that as dirty.
Well, he was upset because in the last game they played, the Redskins' victory here last year, one of only 4 Redskin wins on the season, Darrell Green hit him in the second quarter, forced a injury to his ligament in his knee, and he was lost for 4 games, so he's got a little bit of a grudge coming into this thing against Darrell Green. 1st and 13 at the 17. Red up the middle, breaks a tackle before Tyrone Stowe brings him down, but that's a gain of 8 for Eric Red, who continues to run hard with the football.
Yeah, and you know what I like about Sam Weiss's play calling is when it's, even though it's 1st and long and they get a penalty, it takes it back, he comes back to a run to get a positive play, to get his offense going, and I like that. I mean, this is a play we've seen time and time again today, but just holes open in different places. This time, and he breaks the tackle there. You know, Eric Red is a tough runner. I think that's one of the keys to Eric Red is how tough he is.
2nd and 4, 9:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Erickson changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Stowe comes up in the gap for the Redskins. Rhett, this time he's going nowhere. Manages to struggle forward for a yard or so. Sterling Palmer and Tim Johnson over there, and Tyrone Stowe for the stop.
Yeah, Washington's looking like they're trying to put a hat on a hat right now, similar to some of the things they do in the defense. We got to hurry up here. It seems when they get the ball spotted, Marshall's out there Leonard Marshall was over there trying to avoid him from snapping the ball. I can't believe an official didn't come in there and do something about that. Because once the ball is placed, you're allowed to get the snap off.
And now Erickson calling the play at the line of scrimmage, taking a lot of time. There's the play clock. And he barely gets that thing off. Looking right, throwing it incomplete. Intended on the near side for Courtney Hawkins, but Martin Bayless and Alan Grant were over there. And it'll be 4th down and 3.
You know, I think even though Tampa Bay hurries up and gets to the line of scrimmage, the hurry up is misconstrued. Really, they just want to sit up there and see what kind of defense the Washington Redskins are in so they can get the right play called.
Dan Straczynski is back. They've got one of the best punt coverage teams, the best punt coverage teams in the National Football League. They have allowed 35 yards coming into this game total.
And part of it is because of Dan Straczynski.
Great punt. Mitchell Fields at the 21, stays in bounds, but he's got nowhere to run.
Boy.
Barney Bussey took him out of bounds. 7:58 to go, 3rd quarter. The Redskins will have it 1st and 10. The Well, the one real bright spot for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has been this play of the special teams and this guy, George Stewart, who you know from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I played for George Stewart, and he's a special man, along with being a special coach. He brings a lot of enthusiasm to the game. Whether you're a 10-year veteran or a rookie, he makes you feel proud to play on those special teams. And everywhere he's went, it's been a positive approach, and they've always been 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the league in special teams.
That 2.7 average is unbelievable for the Buccaneers. Just simply incredible when you think about it. Really, only 4 teams in the history of the National Football League have held an opponent under 35 yards for the entire season. And 2 of those teams are Redskin teams, 1962 and 1972, the year they won the Super Bowl under George Allen.
Yeah, well, I think George Stewart's not only a special teams coach, but he's a special coach all the way around. In fact, one day I look for him to be a head coach somewhere.
2nd down and 8 on the 23. Redskins lead 21-17 in a game of big plays. Play fake by Shuler. And the screen left to Mitchell is just too short.
Yeah, Eric Curry actually pointed at Heath Shuler, goes, "I about had you." He pointed at him, and Heath Shuler knows it. It looked like it had a nice start to the play.
Nice
He
setup.
just didn't have the time to set. You know, Curry does a nice job in breaking that play up. He didn't have time to set his feet and get the ball.
Well, the one fault, if he has faults you want to point out, is that he tends to be a little bit impatient. Last week in the Giant game, he short-armed a pass to Ricky Urban. So sometimes he gets a little impatient and tries to rush it rather than waiting for the play to develop. That's what North Turner told us the other day.
When he's getting pressure like that, though, it's easy to rush things.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and 8 from the 23. Shuler with protection, zips to Howard, and Desmond Howard rolls out of bounds at the 36.5-yard line. Martin Mayhew covering, but that's a clutch first down, a gain of 14.
Yeah, I just want to watch Desmond Howard here. I mean, they've basically isolated Desmond Howard and say, "Listen, we're going to work one-on-one with you," and then he's going to come to him, and he puts the ball right on the money there.
Yep,
that's a nice put. Yep. You know, when you hit a couple long bombs like they do, that's going to back up your corners and your safeties to avoid that. And those kind of plays are going to be there for them.
One of the few first downs of the day for the Redskins. Ricky Irvins tries the right side, doesn't get much. Mayhew was over there.
Well, you know, North Turner said yesterday he wants to be balanced. And, you know, I was kind of surprised at that. I thought maybe they would like to try to come out and run the ball a little more, get Heath some confidence, and let him get relaxed back there. But he said, "Hey, I want to be balanced. I'm going to put the same load on my quarterback as I'm going to anybody else. And I want to come out and run 50-50, pass and run."
When North Turner got to Dallas, Troy Aikman's quarterback rating was 55%. When he got through with him 3 years later, it was 92%. He hopes to do the same thing with Heath Shuler. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 at the 37. Mitchell is in the backfield. Quick drop, slant pattern, good catch, and a nice play by Mayhew, but Desmond Howard is out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 8.
Yeah, Mayhew does a nice job there in driving on the ball, but, you know, Heath Shuler he's shown a little bit of everything. The long ball, the deep out, and then a quick slant like that. I mean, you can see the talent that this kid has. Just got to be patient with him.
Desmond Howard with 4 catches and 123 yards. The long touchdown bomb accounting for most of it. 3rd down and 2 for the Redskins at their own 45. They lead 21-17 with 5:29 3rd quarter, and they will not get it. Great play by Mark Wheeler.
Well, I tell you what, he has really stepped up. I mean, in fact, the whole defensive line, but this guy in particular has really stepped up and made some play. Watch in the middle of the screen here. Watch Wheeler. He gets through, gets some penetration, and it creates a loss on a 3rd down. Well, the defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has really picked it up in the last couple of weeks.
Well, Santana Dotson had been starting, but Dotson was not playing the run very well. So they brought Mark Wheeler up, switched him around with Brad Culpepper, and you're right, it's worked. He plays the run better, and that play was evidence of that. Courtney Hawkins is deep to receive the Roby punt. It's another huge boomer. Bounces, takes a Redskin bounce, dives at the 1. Do they save it in?
Looks like they did.
I believe they did. The official is marking it at the 1. Tremendous effort. A 56-yard punt. Boy, Reggie Roby has just been booting the pigskin off that thing, and Martin Bayless saved it at the 1. Boy, does that look sweet. Sail on the bay. Redskins up 21-17. The Bucks operating deep in their own territory after a 56-yard punt by Reggie Roby. He's got 4 punts of over 50 yards today and is averaging almost 57 yards a kick. Play fake, and a good one. Courtney Hawkins gets more yardage before Carter takes him out up near the 20.
You know what? That's a nice play. I mean, they've run the ball successfully all day, and then they run play action. That's one thing Sam Wyche's offense does. When you run the ball well, it sets up play action.
Courtney Hawkins with a good reception, but what a play fake by Erickson.
Yeah. You know, watch the bottom of the screen. He's just going to come up and get an out route, and Erickson's going to hit him. And then he does a nice job of staying in bounds and getting back upfield and getting a few more yards.
And he used all of that end zone, too, didn't he?
Yeah, he got close.
1st and 10 at the 19. Again, the cadence, the hard count. And penalty flags fly. Well, tonight on The Simpsons, Homer discovers a magic potion that turns him from a dud to a stud. There's the man. Catch a brand new episode of The Simpsons at 8, 7 Central, part of a full hour, followed by Married with Children and the George Carlin Show tonight on Fox. Sam Wyche is saying, don't. Illegal procedure called on his team. It brings the ball back to the 15, where it's 1st and 15. Buccaneers. Pass rush. Erickson steps up and fires. Incomplete. Intended for Dawsey. Stowe was over there with him. A good pass would have had a reception.
Yeah, boy, I think Dawsey was wide open, though. He just overthrew him. I know the pressure kind of got to Craig, and he didn't get able to set his feet. But he did a nice job in allowing himself a position to get there. Again, the offensive line does a nice job in running them up the field. And then Erickson steps up the field. Then this ball just gets away from him a little bit. But boy, he had Dawsey wide open.
Lamar Mills gives him a love tap. There are the numbers on Craig Erickson this afternoon. Not bad. But they're in a hole right now, trailing the Skins 21-17 with 3:26 to go, 3rd quarter. Shotgun formation for Erickson. 4 wide receivers. Complete to Horace Copeland. 19-yard gain and a 1st down.
Boy, that was just a nice route. Watch Copeland. He's just going to come out. He's going to drive it down, and he's going to sit down, and then Erickson puts the ball right on the money. Puts him deep, and he comes back, and he slips down there.
You know what, Merril? I think you got to give the credit to the offensive line for giving him the time to step up and throw the football.
Yeah, and they've done that all day. You know, this team, you know, talking to Tony Mayberry yesterday, he said, you know what, I feel good about our 5 front guys because we're working good together as a unit. Because if they give up a sack, it's an offensive lineman, not just one guy.
See the time, top left of your screen. There's the play clock. He just gets it off. Rhett on the draw. Harvey and Bayless on the stop for Washington. Clock continues to run. And Eric Rhett has now set the Tampa Bay Buccaneer rookie rushing record, surpassing Jerry Eckwood's mark in 1979 of 690 in a season. Rhett now with 694. He's got 112 on the day on 26 carries, and he's also got a touchdown. Double tight ends for Tampa Bay. Copeland, the wide receiver, to the near side. Rhett goes nowhere. Good play by Daryl Morrison, who came up to upend him, and then Tim Johnson finished him off.
Yeah, Tim Johnson does a nice job of getting some penetration there, and then Daryl Morrison coming from his safety position to come up there and fill. And you're going to see these safeties coming up right now. You watch Johnson right here, gets nice penetration, gets off there, push him outside, and then Morrison comes up there and makes a nice play from the safety position. And these safeties are going to have to make plays to stop the running game.
There's Mr. Johnson.
He's a tired man.
In his 8th year from Penn State, and a tremendous human being.
Sure is. Fine football player and a fine individual.
Minute 18 and counting, 3rd quarter. Workman and Rhett in the backfield for Tampa Bay on 3rd and 6 at the 38. Here comes pressure. Erickson steps up, gets away from Leonard Marshall, dumps it off, and incomplete. Rhett tried to run with the football before he had it. Credit Marshall with a hurry.
Yeah, I tell you something. I've been in that position before, and that's a catch-22 there. I mean, you know that there's going to be somebody coming from every direction. You want to catch that ball and get it tucked, and sometimes it doesn't go that quick. You go a little faster than when the ball gets there, and you drop those balls now and then.
Mitchell is back for the punt from Dan Straczynski, in 5th year from Indiana. Averaging a little better than 38 yards a kick. Gets it away. Short kick off the side of his foot. Mitchell lets it bounce, takes a Tampa bounce, and he fields it, and Brian Mitchell breaks a tackle and gets up near the 30-yard line. Play made defensively by Lonnie Marks, and the Redskins will take over just inside their 30, 1st and 10, and leading 21-17 with 50 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And we'll be back to Tampa, Florida in just a minute.
Hager presents.
Sam Weiss is certainly not afraid to voice his opinion when it comes to the men in the black and white stripes. And he has just done so on this last punt return by Brian Mitchell.
Well, I think that Sam's extraordinarily upset because, you know, the officials robbed him of a win in Seattle. And, you know, they came back and admitted that later, but that doesn't change the win-loss column for Sam.
1st and 10, the 29. The Redskins lead at 21-17. Shuler back to pass. Has time. Short over the middle. Good move by Desmond Howard to sidestep a defender up over the 35 and about 4 yards shy of a first down. Call it a gain of 7. Brad Culpepper made the stop. Well, Sam feels like this football team should really be 6-6. There were a few games they should have won.
You know what, and to be honest, they should. I mean, this team is starting to make its turn. And I really believe Sam Weiss has these guys on the right move towards turning this program around.
Reggie Brooks in the ball game. That's a blast from the past. Folks in Washington wondering what's happened to Reggie Brooks on the year. Last year, he was the man in this football game, gaining over 100 yards, including a 78-yard run as the Redskins beat the Buccaneers, but he has been used sparingly this season. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, the Redskins 21 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 17. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
Kill your remote.
You know, there's some frustration that you're seeing right here by Sam Weiss that has developed really all season. You know, Sam Weiss, we're talking to him yesterday, you know, feels this team should be 6-6 and maybe in the playoff hunt right now. And I agree with him. You know, they're not getting blown out.
On 3rd and 4, that's the first catch of the day by Ethan Horton, the tight end. And the Redskins have a first down, gain of 11.
You know, they're not getting blown out. They've lost a few games by a few points, some bad calls. And he had a 5-year program. And I believe whoever buys this team needs to seriously consider that. Because these players and this coaching staff believe they're turning things around. And me playing in this league and knowing Tampa Bay, I can tell they're turning it around. They needed a couple more years, and they are going to be in the playoff hunt.
Sam told us that's about the only way he feels like he'll remain as the head coach of this football team, is that a new owner were to come in and say, hey, this guy's doing something positive. I think I want to keep him. Shuler over the middle. It's caught by Brian Mitchell inside the 30. Marty Carter on the coverage, but that's a Redskin first down and a gain of 23.
But, you know,
and now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to Hollywood and James Brown.
Hey, Buck, while Mitchell is doing it there, Randall and company are storming back on 3rd and 1. Cunningham play action finds Maurice Johnson for the touchdown score. That makes it 24-19. 2-point conversion attempt. Back to Maurice Johnson. No good. Defense well by Dallas. 24-19. Philly inside the 10 again. Back to Buck.
What's going on there, JB? Here it's a good one, too. Redskins threatening. Shuler's hit his last 5 passes up the middle.
You know, you can feel that Shuler is settling down. He's starting to make all kinds of throws a quarterback needs to make. He's making the long one. He's making the deep ones. He's sitting back there and reading better now. And, you know, we talked about Sam Weiss and his program turning things around. Norv Turner on the other side is in the same situation. You know, he has a 5-year deal, because it takes about that long. When you're rebuilding and you're trying to mold something together, it doesn't just happen in 1 year.
2nd down and 6 at the 24. Smith and Brooks in the backfield. This is Reggie Brooks. Cuts it up. Gets very little. Mark Wheeler made the stop. Take a look at this information. The Redskins have passed for 246 yards today and rushed for 5.
Well, this is not the balance Norv Turner was I think, alluding to earlier.
No.
But sometimes you go into games and things don't happen like you had planned them all the way Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And you have to adjust. You know, they've hit some long bombs. Those things have been there, and they've capitalized. I think he'll be happy about that. You know, they've capitalized on the opportunities they've had.
Santana Dotson has come into the game for Tampa Bay on the defensive line on 3rd and 4 at the 22. Quick drop, pump fake. Shuler fumbles the football. And the Buccaneers recover. He was hit from behind and never saw the defender. Eric Curry was all over him and forced the fumble.
Well, I tell you, these guys have really stepped up. I want you to watch the top of your screen here. They stunt and they come around. Brad Culpepper does a great job in there. And there he is. Eric Curry beats his guy on the outside, and that pump allowed him to get there in time.
Barney Bussey recovers the fumble. The Buccaneers will take over, trailing 21-17. Well, we'd like to thank the Blockbuster Video Blimp for providing Fox with some great aerial views of today's game. And Tampa Bay now has to take advantage of the takeaway. Carried out to the 35-yard line. Redskins were in field goal position, but now Tampa Bay, who has had 15 takeaways, has only come up with 13 points on the season.
Yeah, I think this is the one thing that's kind of haunted them all year, is when they get a turnover, you know, you like to put up points on the board, and they haven't done that. They've done that very often, and now would be a great time to get out of that rut, is put together a touchdown drive here.
2nd and 7 at the 35. Moore in motion. Eric Rett, been kind of quiet lately, but he's got a hole through the middle. Tom Carter makes the stop, a gain of 12 and a Tampa first down. And now for this update, let's go back to Hollywood and James Brown. JB.
Hey, Buck, when last we talked, I said Philly was storming back. How quickly the tide turns. Randall inside of Dallas's 10 throws a pick to Darren Woodson. Guess what he does, Steve? He takes it 94 yards to pay dirt. Dallas is on top 31-19, 6:43 left. Back to Tampa, Steve and Merril.
All right, JB, that's a heck of a game. Looks like Dallas is going to clinch the division with a good-sized lead now on Philly. Here it's a tighter game. Couple of yards on the run. Sterling Palmer the stop for Washington. Eric Rett the ball carrier. 21-17, Redskins lead it. And the Tampa fans very emotional. They want to keep their football team here. Crowd today of 45,121. The place seats 78 grand. The largest crowd of the year was about 60,000 for the Bears. Eric Rett, 130 yards, 30 rushes, and a touchdown on 2nd down and 8.
We said he might see 40 rushes today, and he just very well may.
Moore in motion. Erickson has a man. It's complete to Courtney Hawkins, dragging Daryl Morrison to the Redskin 36. Gain of 14 yards on the play and another Tampa Bay first down.
Well, I want you to watch Hawkins right down here in the bottom of your screen. I mean, he's just going to come up. He's going to drive it deep and then just turn around and set it down. And Erickson just throws the ball. That was a great timing route right there. Put the ball right where he needed and allowed him to get up the field and make a few more yards.
Broke a tackle of Darrell Green, and then Morrison got him. 1st and 10, Bucks on the Skins 37. Eric Rett has a hole. Ken Harvey brings him down.
But I tell you something, Eric Rett gets stronger as the game goes on, and that's another good sign of an outstanding running back. Watch the end zone. I mean, this is the play they've run all day. Hole opens up in different places. Eric has the great vision in order to find the opening, and then he has the good power to drag somebody with him for a yard or two.
Got some great blocks from Charles McRae and Ian Beckles up front for a gain of 9.
Well, Tampa's putting together a nice drive here, and this is what they need to do.
2nd and 1 at the Redskin 28. Again, the hard count draws Redskins. Rhett left side and out of bounds. Darrell Green took him out. Down to the 21. Gain of 7.
You know, Eric Rhett's kind of showed a little bit of everything. He shows great vision, good strength, shows a little speed getting around the corner there for a guy that's probably pretty tired.
Well, he worked hard not only here but in college under Steve Spurrier, and came out of an offense where his work ethic and work habits were second to none. And since he's been here, Sam Weiss told us the other day, he just wants to play football. I mean, he's as intense in practice as you've seen him here this afternoon. 1st and 10 at the Redskin 21, the Bucs threatening. And now Erickson's going to take a timeout. With the play clock down to 3, he takes time. 8 minutes, 27 seconds to go. The Redskins on top, 21-17.
Do you have a problem?
Up next, the drive for the playoffs continues. Most of you will see the second half of today's doubleheader. The Falcons battle the 49ers, or the New York Giants take on the Cleveland Browns. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Tampa Bay trails the Redskins 21-17, but the Bucs have 1st and 10 at the Skins 21. Vince Workman is in the backfield. Play fake. Erickson has pressure and throws it out of the end zone. Lawrence Dawsey was in there. Andre Collins put the pressure on the Tampa quarterback and forced the bad pass. Either that or he just threw it away.
You know, Erickson's done a nice job, though, in avoiding the pressure and allowing himself a little bit of time to throw. If you watch the top of the screen, here comes Andre Collins, and he just steps inside. I mean, it kind of shows you a little bit about Erickson, his composure and the strength of this guy.
And his athletic ability, because he's done that a couple of times today. Plus, he likes to step up in the pocket, and he did it there to avoid the pressure. Eric Rhett, the lone setback. Moore in motion. This is Rhett. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Powers forward for a couple. Palmer and Stowe were there, along with Tim Johnson.
Well, Eric Rhett probably hit one of the hardest hitters in this league, in Tyrone Stowe. In fact, he's going to come out maybe and get a breather here. He's got 34 carries for 157 yards and a team rookie rushing record. He's had a great year. He's a cornerstone for this team right now.
He's also got 34, as you mentioned, rushing attempts. The club record is 43 by James Wilder back in '84. 3rd and 6. Erickson has Vince Workman. Workman dives over Martin Bayless and has a Tampa first down.
You know, that was the exact play that earlier in the game where he kind of overthrew Vince Workman. At that time, he hit him in the ability for Vince to keep running, and then Vince, and being the great third down back that he is, was able to get the first down. Let's watch it from the end zone. Vince Workman's going to check and then come out there in the flat, and then Craig's just going to get him the ball. Then he gets the first down on his own. I mean, he's got to run over somebody right there. Excellent run. I mean, when you throw the ball, sometimes you take a price for it.
Oh, that's Leonard Marshall.
That's close. You got to get off him. I think he tried to get off him there at the end, and that's what saved him.
Threw those hands up at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Rhett to the 4. Bayless and Ken Harvey on the stop.
Watch Moore in motion. He's come in motion all day today and done a great job in taking on Andre Collins. You know, the hole opened up for Eric backside, but Moore's done a great job in securing the corner there in case Eric needs to go that way.
2nd and 4. Check it. 2nd and goal at the 4. Moore again. Eric Rhett left side, and a good play defensively by Tony Woods to take him down after perhaps a gain of 1. Let's see where they mark it.
You know, it's kind of funny. All of the things that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the last few games have struggled with, you know, not creating points on turnovers, getting down inside the 10-yard line and not scoring points, is all coming true here. You're starting to see they're starting to put together some drives, and now they have an opportunity to capitalize on some points. And you're going to see this team is turning things around.
Well, you can see how close those ball games have been. 3rd and goal at the 4. Erickson rolling right. End zone. Tipped up into the air. Incomplete. Good play defensively by Andre Collins. It brings up 4th and goal at the 4. And Tampa Bay needs more than a field goal here. But they're sending on Michael Husted.
You know what? I think there's plenty enough time that you do got to kick the field goal right now. But Erickson might want to thank Andre Collins for tipping that ball, because that was thrown into a pretty covered receiver there.
Michael Husted, who has not missed inside the 40 this year. He's 14 of 14. This one will come from 22 yards out. He's kicked one earlier from 53 yards. Good snap, and he's got it through. The Virginia Star has cut the lead to 1. 21-20 with 5:24 to go in the 4th. There were 38 points scored in the first half of this game, but the first points in the second half have just been scored on a Michael Husted 22-yard field goal, and the lead is 1 point for the Redskins, 21-20. Brian Mitchell from a yard deep. Mitchell to the 19. Lonnie Martz with a tackle. 5:14 to play in the 4th quarter. Redskins ball, leading by 1. This crowd has come to life. The chant is for defense from this Buccaneer team. Hold the Redskins and get the ball back and try to score to go on top.
You know, I think this team, these fans here are obviously demonstrating this place deserves this team. These fans want this team here.
The Redskins today have rushed the ball just 11 times for 7 yards. Play fake. Shuler's got nowhere to go. He is sacked for the 3rd time today. A team that coming into this game had allowed just 15 sacks all season. The 5th fewest in the NFL, has allowed 3 today. Brad Culpepper, the sack.
Watch Brad Culpepper. I mean, he beats the double team, gets back there and gets the sack. I mean, this defensive line has really stepped it up. I mean, the last 2 weeks, they haven't been around much for the 5 weeks prior to that. But boy, I tell you what, they've turned it over this last 2 weeks.
Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15 for the Skins. There's Brad Culpepper. Shuler to throw. Caught. First down, Redskins. Henry Ellard. A 19-yard gain. Charles Dimry on the play.
And I'll tell you something, this is what Heath Shuler is going to have to do. I mean, if there's one receiver you want to go to, watch the top of your screen, Henry Ellard. I mean, he's going to come up here. Here's just a timing route. Runs a nice route, and that's one thing Henry Ellard does, and Heath Shuler knows, is Henry Ellard's going to be where he's supposed to be.
Henry Ellard's first catch of the day. He's got 57 catches on the year. 53 of them make that 54 of them for first downs.
That's amazing.
That is incredible. Draw to Ricky Irvins. Gets a couple. Barney Bussey in the middle of the line, along with Mark Wheeler. Clock continues to run at 3:49. Look at the time of possession. Tampa Bay, almost 40 minutes. The Skins, not quite 15.
Yeah, when you see the time of possession like this, you know that there's been some hidden yardage and touchdowns within those hidden yardage. And hidden yardage is like that interception returned by Andre Collins.
Floyd Peters, great player with the Philadelphia Eagles and some other teams. Was even in Washington for a while, 1 year. Shuler play fake off his back foot and throws it away, intended for Desmond Howard, and he got hit after he threw it by Mark Wheeler.
Boy, he sure did. And I tell you what, the front four are still coming hard. I mean, they're going to put pressure on this young kid, but I tell you what, Norv Turner told us yesterday, I mean, Heath Shuler showed him some signs late in the game, and I think he's starting to see even more signs late in the game about how Heath Shuler is starting to mature and develop and get some confidence.
Well, you mentioned it before. There's not much balance there, but the Redskins still lead by 1.
And I'm sure he's not happy with it, but you're up by 1, and you've got to be happy with that.
3 wide receivers on 3rd down and 8 at the 35. Shuler with time, deep down the middle of the field, and overthrown, intended for Orlando Truitt. Thomas Everett defending on the play along with Mike Magruder. And the Redskins will have to kick it away.
Well, the defense has done their job now. Now the offense is going to have to put another drive together and put them in a field goal position.
Courtney Hawkins.
Yep. He's in charge of counting.
Yes, he is.
All he's got to go is to 10 and himself is 11.
Let's see what Roby does into the wind. The good kicks by all the punters and kickoff men have come the other way. This one's a beauty. Driving spiral. Courtney Hawkins lets it bounce at the 6 and goes into the end zone. Johnny Thomas couldn't quite catch up to it. A 65-yard punt by Reggie Roby as you look at the AFC Central standings, and the Steelers can clinch a playoff spot with a victory, and they lead Cincinnati 31-15 in the 4th quarter.
And I'll tell you something, that the Cleveland-Pittsburgh matchup and rivalry, that's going to be big in a couple weeks. I know Pittsburgh's going to go home, play Philly, and Cleveland has to go away to Dallas, but coming into Pittsburgh, that's going to be like a playoff atmosphere.
And there's that ball game coming up next. The Giants at Cleveland. Some of you will see that. Many of you will see the Falcons and the 49ers. That punt, by the way, tied the longest ever as the Redskin, by Reggie Roby of 65 yards. 1st and 10. Tampa Bay's got to get into Michael Husted field goal range. He kicked one from 53 yards earlier today with a wind behind him. Ball on the 20. Erickson with all kinds of time. He hits Courtney Hawkins just shy of the 40-yard line. 1st down, Tampa Bay. 19-yard gain. Hurry up offense in place, and there was absolutely no pressure on the quarterback. Of course, the Redskins probably in prevent defense.
Tampa looks a little fresher right now than the Redskins, and this might play into their hand right here.
Well, we talked about the heat being perhaps a factor. The Redskins last week playing in a cold rain at RFK. This has been temperatures in the 80s here this afternoon, weather that Tampa is used to. Erickson steps up and nearly intercepted by Daryl Morrison. Hit him in a bad spot.
Right in the hands. Oh, boy. Watch this. In the end zone, you're going to watch. You're going to get a feeling what Daryl feels like at the moment and then afterwards. Watch, he's just going to drop back in his 3-deep zone, sit there, and then, boy, Craig just throws it right to him.
Well, I think when Vince Workman put his hand up.
Yeah, probably shielded his eyes just for that a little bit and caused him to drop that one.
Right between the 3 and the 8. That would have been a huge play. The Redskins started the game with a huge play when Andre Collins returned Craig Erickson's first pass, 92 yards for a touchdown, the first score of the game. 2nd and 10, Tampa at their own 39. Erickson hit as he throws, up in the air and caught by Dawsey.
Boy, you know, he has made a couple outstanding catches, and that one may be the biggest because it keeps a drive going and it gets you a 1st down.
Andre Collins tipped the ball into the air, but Dawsey with great concentration came down with it, the second one of those he's made today, and it keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the Redskin 48 with 2:15 and counting in the 4th quarter.
You know, Erickson said Dawsey's a guy I like to go to, even if he's covered.
4 wide receivers. Workman in the backfield with Erickson out of the shotgun. Draw to Workman. Run down by Andre Collins at the 43, and we've got the 2-minute warning on a gain of 5. Redskins lead it by a slim point. Down and 5, Tampa Bay with the ball on the Redskin 43.
And I'll tell you something, you can't tell me these guys don't want to win. I mean, that's an offensive meeting here, but the entire defense is over there.
And one of the reasons the Redskins may be a bit petered out, Tampa Bay has had 75 plays from scrimmage, the Skins just 34. And to get the ball anywhere near Husted's field goal range, they need to get it at least somewhere in the 35, 36-yard range. He kicked one earlier from 53, so that would be the ball placement spotted line of scrimmage at the 36. Right now, they're at the Redskin 43, so they don't have far to go. Draw, Rhett. Tripped up by Andre Collins, but dives forward about 1.5 yards shy of the first down.
He gets a lot of credit, and running backs do when you make big runs and long runs. But I tell you what, that run right there may be one of the best runs he has all day. Looks like a no-gainer, and he puts it into a positive position.
Up
Makes
quickly.
it a 3rd and short versus a 3rd and long.
3rd and 1 from the 39. 1:30 and counting. Redskins by a point. Moore in motion. Rhett has the first down to the 35. Dave Moore with a terrific block.
Boy, I tell you, Moore has done an outstanding job all day. Watch Moore right here. I mean, and he comes in motion, and he just seals Harvey inside. And that allows Eric Rhett to get around the corner. You know, Eric Rhett will go back and he'll see this film tomorrow. And I guarantee when he walks out of the film, he'll thank Moore for all the blocks he threw for him this week.
Well, Washington has taken a timeout. There is an injured Redskin on the field. And we will take a break with 1:11 to play here in the 4th quarter of action from Tampa. To the tune of Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Parts 1 and 2, the Tampa fans are into it. Their team has 1st and 10 from the Redskin 35. They are in field goal range of Michael Husted right now. He's already kicked one today from 53. 1:11 to play in the 4th quarter. Erickson to pass deep down the left sideline, and incomplete. No flags. Darrell Green was covering on the play intended for Courtney Hawkins.
Well, I think you're going to have to watch this and watch if Darrell Green turns and plays for the ball. Because if he plays for the ball, it's not pass interference. I mean, Darrell Green's one of the best still in the league. He's run, and see, now when he turns and looks for the ball, that's clean. That's a good no call.
I would say good incidental contact, just good coverage.
Because he has as much right to the ball as the receiver. And then he turned. Now, had he not turned, that's pass interference.
Second and 10. Penalty flag down. Big hole Rhett cuts it left side inside the 20 and taken out of bounds by Green. Penalty flag down. A gain of 23 yards. Tony Mayberry with a great block. At the end of this game, Merril and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Offsides, Redskins.
And I'll tell you something, I think we got a pretty good idea who that might be. But Ian Beckles, I mean, the entire offensive line did a great job in creating a scene. But Ian Beckles ran him down to the out-of-bounds line. Now, when our offensive linemen are running with you, you know you're doing well. The offensive line does a great job. Eric Rhett comes back, makes a nice read, gets out of bounds. Super run.
You couldn't tell, Merril, from that replay of the end zone whether or not it was the hard count that drew the Redskins offside. They called it on Dexter Nottage. Rhett has 192 yards rushing on 39 carries. It's 1st and 10 at the Redskin 12. Workman up the middle. Dragged down at the 1 by Darrell Green. Gain of 11.
I tell you, it sounds like a broken record, but the offensive line has done a great job. And both Workman and Rhett have ran these plays to perfection. They've bided some time. When the hole's there, they hit it. They get positive yardage. And when you get that flow going, it's hard to stop. Moore does a nice job of sealing his guy outside. And Eric Rhett does a nice job, once the hole's there, going north and south. Oftentimes, there's a lot of backs. They try to dance and go back. But these backs for Tampa are going north and south.
Darrell Morrison made the stop along with Green. I'll tell you what, all season long, the Redskins have been in a position in many, many games where they've had to call upon the defense to hold the opposition, and they've flat out not been able to do it. This is a perfect example right here this afternoon.
Yeah, well, talking to Tony Woods yesterday, you know, there's reasoning for a lot of that. You know, they have some young guys. They have some new guys. He felt that they're meshing together and coming together better, and they're playing better. But you're right. When you get a situation like this, this is really when you got to call upon your defense to bow their backs and stop them. And they really haven't done it all day. I mean, Tampa's done a good job in executing their run game.
1st and goal at the 1. All they needed was to get into field goal range for Michael Husted. It looks like it could be even worse for the Redskins.
Well, I think this is no secret. Eric Rhett needs to get the ball here.
McDowell is the lead blocker. Handoff to Rhett. He's stuffed inside and did not score. Stopped for no gain at the 1 into the middle of the defensive pile, and Ron Lynn is screaming for a timeout. 37. This clock is still moving.
I still think this is attitude here. I mean, Tampa Bay needs to recall on the Detroit game now and realize that they did not have the attitude to score. Now they all need to have the attitude, and you line up with the exact same formation and you give the ball to Eric Rhett again.
Redskins have no timeout remainings. Tampa Bay has 2. Don't forget, doubleheader action coming up here on Fox. Atlanta and San Francisco from the stick, and the Giants and Cleveland. Good action coming up here with the NFL on Fox. Eric Rhett has had a sensational afternoon, breaking records, running hard, and now his team is inches away from taking the lead. Redskins on top 21-20 with just 35 seconds to play in regulation. Sam Weiss, who has a Super Bowl ring with his football team, the Washington Redskins, when he played up in D.C. in 1972. He was there for 3 years. He played in 72 as a backup quarterback to Sonny and the holder on place kicks. Sonny told the story that Sam was warming up on the sideline to go into a game and threw 2 interceptions before he ever got in.
Well, I still think you've got to give the ball to Eric Rhett here.
Quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
But heck, when you score a touchdown, it doesn't matter who did it.
And he gives it to Paul Gruber to spike the ball, and Norv Turner has seen an unbelievable football game with ebbs and flows now turn against him with just 32 seconds to go in the 4th, and the Buccaneers up 26-21, and he is screaming for a 2-point conversion.
Well, you know, both of these teams have played their hearts out. And Norv Turner has his team on the right track also. I mean, both of these teams, these games have happened to them all year where they've come up a little short. I think Tampa Bay may be just a little ahead of the Washington Redskins right now. And you can feel the momentum. You can feel the momentum actually of the fans just sitting here in the stadium. That this win right here, it might be like the Super Bowl for this team.
McDowell and Rhett in the backfield behind Erickson. 2-point conversion coming. Play fake. Pressure. Thrown up and incomplete. Good pressure. And Martin Bayless leveled Craig Erickson and forced that pass incomplete. And the 2-point conversion attempt fails.
Watch this top of the screen. I mean, Martin Bayless just comes in free. Just comes in free. Eric Rhett probably should have picked him up there. That's probably the only thing wrong Eric Rhett has done all day. Let's go back to the touchdown. I think what you want to watch here is watch him get the ball over the goal line. Once he gets there, he's safe. And he puts the ball up over the goal line. He breaks the plane, and that's all you have to do.
Well, there have been some spectacular efforts on both sides of the ball today, not only the Buccaneers but the Redskins. But our Miller Lite player of the game has got to be Eric Rhett, who's had a great performance here this afternoon, rushing for close to 200 yards.
You know what, he sure has. And I think that, you know, when he first had his 100-yard game, everybody wanted to say, well, listen, can he rush for 100 again? Is he going to take a month off before he does it again? Because Tampa really hasn't had a lot of success with their running backs. And he does a great job week after week after week. Now watch this, Erickson. You've done a good job. Give it to your offensive lineman. That's not the best spike in the world, but you know what? They don't get to spike the ball that much. But every opportunity they get, they appreciate it.
Well, if ever a case has been made for, at least from the fan standpoint, of keeping a football team in a city It's been made here this afternoon in front of 45,000 rabid Buccaneer fans as the Bucs have taken the lead 26-21 with 32 seconds left. Kickoff fumbled, picked up, and nailed on the return as Tyrone Rush. Barney Bussey put the wood to him.
Now, Barney Bussey is a starter, and Barney Bussey is running down on kickoffs. Don't tell me this team does not want to win and these players don't care. There's a starter on the kickoff team. I want you to watch this hit. I mean, Barney Bussey's a defensive player, but watch this shot.
Oh!
Boom. Barney Bussey took a shot himself there.
He did.
Sometimes you give and receive all in the same thing.
Skins 1st and 10 at the 19. They've got to score a touchdown. Shuler. Incomplete, intended for Ellard, too wide. 21 seconds to play.
Well, you know, Heath has done a lot of good things today. You know, he's sat in, come out of some tough situations. He's regrouped. He's hit some long balls. He's hit some short balls. You know, here's a situation he's going to be in many times in this league where he's got to put something together with little time on the clock.
Boy, if I'm going to war, I want that guy leading the charge.
Yeah, he doesn't have to say much, does he? He just stands up there. And
Peters. He's a man. Shuler with 21 seconds. Throws it left. Incomplete to Leslie Shepard, and Shepard is out of bounds to stop the clock. He was activated today and brought up.
Yeah, Leslie was on the Pittsburgh roster for a couple of years. I played with Leslie. He's a good receiver. It's a fine find for the Washington Redskins. You know, one thing, these little out routes are nice. They stop the clock, but we've got to make some move towards the end zone. I mean, you've got to put this ball in the end zone to win. It can't be a field goal.
3rd and 2. They're going to have to take a shot or two down the field. 3 down linemen, 4 wide receivers. Shuler steps up, fires right. It's intercepted. Mike Magruder, and he goes down and out of bounds.
Hey, don't tell me he's not happy. You start dancing with your team, your players, you know you're happy.
He was doing the twist with Lamar Thomas.
You know, you've documented it very well. I mean, this team wants to stay here. But I think more importantly, I mean, these fans want this team here. And you've seen all aspects. You have a lot of emotion here. I mean, this team obviously is not going to the playoffs, but you can feel a playoff atmosphere here. You know, Norv's talking to Shuler. One thing that I liked about talking to Norv Turner is when a player does something wrong, he doesn't ball a kid out. He pulls him over, says, you know what, you did wrong. Both of these teams are on the right track to being successful.
And that will do it from Tampa. The Buccaneers have come back to beat the Skins in an emotional game. So for Merril, Hoge, this is Steve Buckhantz. So long from Tampa, Florida, where the final score, the Buccaneers 26 and the Redskins 21. Stay tuned as the NFL on Fox continues. Most of you will be seeing Atlanta versus San Francisco or the New York Giants at Cleveland. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League.